at the end of season 3, a lot of people were like, that could have been a season finale. Season 3. We're on season
Yeah.
9. We've more than doubled what we had back then.
Oh, what the fuck? Alright, I'll have to definitely fuck with this thing, since it's fighting me now. I don't know why I did this dumb retarded bullshit. Bunk. At least the audio is working properly. No, I remember what I said when Digi took off in season 4. I was like, you know what, let me get to where he is, and then I'll fucking judge him for this bullshit. And you know what, I got what I wanted out of the premiere. Like, as much as I was, and I was like, oh, I didn't wait this long for Sombry. I wanted the fucking goat. And then, damn. I guess I'm easily made happy. What were you expecting? Well, actually, we were supposed to do Equestria Girl since we're stalling for time. What do you like about that whole arrangement? And when you say full episodes, how long are the Equestria Girls shorts?
Usually, well, like, the normal shorts they can probably be like 5 minutes, roughly. In that ballpark. And then the big ones, like what we had recently, it was, what was it called? Let's see, it was, it's on the tip of my head.
Oh, for anybody watching, just to let you guys know, if you haven't caught the premiere, you could head your way on down to Equestria Daily. It's about 1 page back. Oh, let me change the title of this dumb, stupid thing.
You give me a link to the stream?
Oh, yeah, sure, 1 second. I don't know why the hell it didn't change. Here, I'll freaking refresh this. Maybe that'll do it. I'll leave page. Hopefully it will freaking...
Oh, it was Spring Breakdown. That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
I just called it MLP. Resend. What the hell? Is this thing gonna fight me?
It's kind of a forgettable name.
Okay, wow. I had everything changed and it didn't work. Okay. See, MLP FIM season.
Overall, but to answer your question about the recent thing, I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, my standards on
What?
Ah, he's here. Oh, fantastic! We're talking about season 9's premiere, or did you still mean Equestria Girls? That was sharp. That was fucking stiff. Oh,
that was. I was talking right then about the Spring Breakdown, the EQG thing that came out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really an acceptable answer either, but I didn't see it, so I have no comment.
Okay, fantastic.
What I was going to say before that very funny.
Was so beautiful. I'm so glad that's the stream. Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
My standards on EQG stuff is definitely lower, because most of the characters are just copies, in my opinion. So, the beginning portion of it was kind of cringy, I won't lie, but it has Sunset Shimmer in it, so. I liked it.
Indeed.
It was good. Especially from
I'll admit, when it comes to Equestria Girls, I haven't kept up. How about you, Horizon? Have you glanced at that at all since they cut off the movies, or were you booked out of that bullshit way before then?
There's something outside of the movies?
Well, yeah, they started doing just YouTube shorts for Equestria Girls.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, considering how bad the very last one was, the camp special, I was like, yeah, less is probably more in that case. That's probably the best way to go with that shit.
I watched the first movie, and that was it. I liked one thing from it, and it was a song they had when they were clearing the cafeteria. It was really catchy, and it got stuck in my head.
Rainbow Rocks.
No.
I'll have to fuck with this thumbnail.
Everyone freaking tells me, Rainbow Rocks was the best, and Rainbow Rocks is actually good, but somehow I still doubt that. I feel like if I actually saw Rainbow Rocks, my mind probably wouldn't be changed.
So let me give you a little tip there, Movie Bob. If you go in with it going, not gonna like it, guess what you're not gonna do? I mean, there are a few exceptions I've gone in and yeah.
You won't necessarily not like it, but I would give it a shot because it does seem like there's a pretty big divide. Like people who hated the first one loved the second one.
Oh yeah, freaking. Well, the
I
first one's
would have
basically
thought in
just
general, from what I've heard, that sort of the reputation of the first film is that that's the weakest film or one of the weakest films, sort of. Like.
I would disagree with that, but granted, I'm not in the majority on that.
No, I've seen.
I mean,
analysis.
oddly enough, I haven't seen the first film properly. I've only seen the second and third films, and then Forgotten Friendship. So I don't have an opinion on that really myself. But that seems to be the consensus.
Well, go ahead, take it away, Pasta. Since you're a guest, I don't want to be a dick and just talk over everybody.
Oh, it's all right. But all I was going to say is that, in my opinion, the worst is the fourth one. The last one they did.
There's a fourth one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was so
there's a
terrible.
fourth one. And it is bad.
I turned it off after like 5 to 10 minutes. I was like,
it's so boring. It's such a boring... Like, I wouldn't want to call it a movie. That's like a disservice to the idea of it being a movie.
Wait. There was a fourth... That has something to do with the Everfree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I watched that.
Now I know you're dicking with us.
Okay,
Wow.
no, I watched that. I didn't know that was the fourth one. I actually liked it, I think, for what it's worth.
Now I know you're being a contrarian turkey.
No, I'm dead ass.
Like, I never saw Rainbow Rex, but he watched the camp one. Come on, we're not this dumb. Jesus.
Okay, well, wow. Huh.
Well, it's bad, but I liked it.
Okay, go ahead. Take it away. I want to hear why.
I don't know. I don't remember anything from it.
Now I know.
I just remember going through the movie and being like, "Wow, this isn't actually as atrocious as it could be." Well, kudos. That was my takeaway from that movie. I think I remember.
Dude, if you think that the camp one is good, you definitely should watch Rainbow Rock.
I didn't say it was good.
Yeah?
I just said
You liked it.
I liked it.
Then you probably will like to a lot larger of a degree.
Right, so let me ask you a question then, Event Horizon.
Second
Since
one.
I sure as fuck don't remember what was the name of the goddamn main bitch and the main villain. And I don't want to hear you clicking. I don't want to hear you searching.
Gloriosa, I believe.
Oh, well, fine. Give it to him, Pasta. I was just checking to see if he was jerking us around.
Oh, damn it.
I couldn't have told you. Yeah.
Okay, what's her brother's name? This one's a little easier, but...
Okay.
Who?
Exactly. Yeah, I knew he was jerking us around. I knew he hadn't seen it.
Well, just because you can't remember, it doesn't necessarily mean you didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I watched it once a very long time ago.
Okay.
And I remember being like, wow, that wasn't as terrible as it could have been. But I that's the only reason why I even remotely enjoyed it, because I was expecting it to be much, much worse than what it actually was. But don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's still, well, it is. It's bad. There's nothing around that. What is with this thumbnail?
Yeah, I got it. I was trying to change it, and then fucking YouTube's like, nah, we're not going to let you, so I'll have to change it after it's done rendering. Yeah, it was being stupid. I had like, you gave me all the time in the world, too. So yeah, no, feel free to rip into me. I'm an idiot. I completely screwed up. Yeah, I literally had fucking 50 minutes to get the goddamn thumbnail right. I fucking didn't want to, I fucking rendered it out on Vegas, went to Trimmer, posted it up, and then went to put it on YouTube, and it said, fuck you, we're not taking it. I'm like, okay, fantastic. Lovely. Just amazing.
The point at which I think the Equestria Girls series kind of took a downturn was when they decided to bring Human Twilight into the mix.
Yeah, no, that sucked. But now that we've got everybody here and we're all ready to go to talk about the final. And since
let's talk about the actual
we're
thing.
actually prepared. Yeah. We're prepared to talk about the final.
Yeah.
What did you fucking hate? What set you off first, Event? Let's hear this.
Okay, so I can tell the way the episode was written, right?
Okay.
That they're joking. Like, you can very tell, like, the whole self-awareness part about it is them making fun of themselves.
Because they've never done that before.
But the thing, I hate it when, like, writers do that, but, like, because like, you're saying it's a joke, but you actually do it. Like, it's not really a joke because it's what actually happens unironically, and they didn't change the formula for this episode. They didn't say, yeah, this is what we usually do. Haha, isn't that pretty stupid? Ha, here's a twist. Like, they just kept it. And I'm like, well, it's not really a good joke okay.
I'm assuming, just taking a wild guess in the dark, You're referring to the Luna Celestia thing?
Kind of everything.
I thought he was referring to the villain thing. The villain thing.
It's kind of well, the entire episode was really self-aware about how formulaic they are with this show, but it's not funny if you continue to stick to the formula.
Oh.
Like, it's not. I can't
disagree with your interpretation, but I do agree with the. It's not funny if you keep sticking to the formula. I agree with that.
I guess I like hackneyed bullcrap. Maybe I do. You know what? That's perfectly fine. And considering,
there's even a bit in there, isn't there, where Discord's kind of like, "Oh, come on, like Twilight. You're like, this is what you do now. This is where you do that bit, and then you comfort that."
So I'm just going to state for the record, so I can get a perspective.
That was actually a breath of fresh air. I was happy that Discord said that because I was cringing so much through this episode.
Oh, I know, but it's not funny when they continued to do it. Like, it's great that Discord can be self-aware about it, but it's not a good joke if they actually did it.
It's just a sort of pointing out your own flaws.
Yeah, but it's not really if you do it anyway.
But you know what I mean? Still doing it. Yeah, I believe the expression is what I'm doing is wrong. I know it's wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't tell me that they learn. I'm kind of getting tired of Discord and the way he's acting. I actually watched freaking that Discord episode from season 8, and he's just doing the exact same things kind of over and over again, and that's getting kind of tiring to me personally.
I wouldn't I think that with Discord they were pretty self-aware, but I don't think that this entire episode was self-aware. I actually think you're kind of giving the show staff a little too much credit.
How can you have some self-awareness and not entire self-awareness when there's only 22?
Yeah, they were self-aware of the whole formulaic thing with Twilight, but were they being tongue-in-cheek when they did the whole stereotypical villain takes over an empire, the conflict with the team?
Yeah,
of villains.
They were. They were. Sombra took over the Crystal Empire in 45 seconds. There was no suspense. There was no gravity. There was no rules. He just did it.
But that's just bad writing.
How do you think that's not sarcasm? They have to know that.
And the way the other characters,
know.
The way the other characters reacted about it as well.
Let's do this though. Do you sit there and time every takeover in every cartoon? Was it out of the ordinary?
I don't.
Is this episode out of the ordinary? No. This episode, this episode. In fact, that's part of the reason why I kind of hate this episode, is because it's so, if this was the first episode I saw of the series, I would hate it. Okay. I wouldn't watch the series. Oh, because it's so boring. It's so played out.
This episode, I feel like, could have easily been an entire season within itself, as most of the premieres and finales. I feel like they always introduce these concepts and then waste them by cramming them into 44 minutes.
So you wanted a whole season out of them caring for the baby.
But, getting past the fact that this is extremely cliche, and it's very formulaic and all that, the thing that I think I hate it the most for is that, I don't like when MLP does the whole, grandiose, magic bullshit stuff. I was happy when they got rid of it, and at least they toyed with the idea of getting rid of it in season 4. They didn't actually get rid of it, but it's I'm generally not a fan of this type of stuff, and I feel like part of the reason they did this episode is because this is my theorizing here.
Okay.
Is that I think that this show, to a decent extent, is kind of full of itself.
Okay. No, I'm hearing a lot of critiques.
Crying out loud, season 8.
No, hold it.
They touched on the
I'm hearing a lot of critiques. I'm hearing a lot of critiques. What would you have done differently?
That's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're hardly the only person that shares this sentiment, but I don't understand what do you want them to do instead?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, First off, it, like if I have to work in the premise of there has to be a bad guy that takes over, then I'm a little bit stumped.
So
because I don't even.
Well, here's my question though. Would you just have preferred Celestia and Luna's incompetence be the bad guy? I'm not against that.
Honestly, I don't even like the idea of them retiring.
You know what? I could take it or leave it.
The only thing I would change, if I literally had to write this episode, the same kind of cliche-esque villain takeover stuff.
Okay.
The only thing I would change is try to add in a little bit more explanation to the princesses are retiring. A friend made a good point. They say that it's been the most peaceful or so, 7 years or something like that. But, we've had constant crises in Equestria.
Okay, now, that's a really good point there, Poston. Here's the question I would have probably have asked Big Jim, or whatever his damn name is, the guy who's behind the scenes here. It's the most peaceful it's ever been. So what you're telling me, before Twilight, for this to have been the most peaceful, that Celestia must have really been able to, without the aid of Twilight back in the day, put shit back together. I sure would like to have seen one example of that.
It's almost like, they completely forgot that they've mentioned that Celestia has been ruling Equestria for 1,000 years of peace, before all this happened.
So they were.
I'm really the most peaceful when literally nothing has happened in 1,000 years that you've been alone on the throne.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that there's been nothing that's happened.
That's what they said. So I guess.
Yeah, they said it was 1,000 years of peace.
So here, let's
in the pilot episode.
At one point, they have to lie. They have to be lying somewhere.
Okay.
Because they say it's been the most peaceful time period these past, when we've had all these villains come up. But they've also said that it was 1,000 years of peace. So
okay, well, there's your answer, Pasta. Maybe Celestia and Luna are fucking jerking and pranking Twilight along. It wouldn't be the first time that they've done, well, I guess for Luna, but it wouldn't be the first time Celestia just said, you know what, I'm bored. Let's dick around Twilight today. Let's tell them we're gonna retire, and then they didn't do it, which makes me lead to believe, oh yeah,
they could have gone into a little bit of detail about the fact that they could have gone on the joke. It's a joke in the fandom that they don't do much.
Yeah,
but that could actually be an explanation of. Well, I mean, we actually don't do that much. There's actually
not even true.
I mean, that would be a bit of a retcon, but give an explanation.
Sure, I do. That one episode where basically Luna and Celestia swap parts, we saw the fact that during the day Celestia is a diplomat, and she actually does ruler things. It's her one talent is to go out there and get jackasses to get along, and I was like, okay,
it could be relative. When she said the whole thing with 1,000 years of peace, it could have been back then. It was 1,000 years of peace, but looking at it now, man, it was pretty shit. It could have been. It could be that. I don't know, but give an explanation. That's my big beef with this episode. One of my big beefs is that they didn't give a really good explanation.
Yeah, but that doesn't, in my opinion, that doesn't make anything better. Because then
it's
I don't see the point. Yeah. No, I don't see the point in them being there then. They might as well just retire. Because if they're not going to be of any help when actual conflicts arise, then what's the point in even them being there?
Okay.
I don't want an explanation. I want the problem to be fixed.
Oh, wait a minute.
The problem can't be fixed because here's
now
the thing.
It can't be fixed because we're 9 seasons in.
Yeah,
because we're 9 seasons in.
I do have to address one person before I throw you in, Rocky. You kind of said you didn't watch any of the show, so you'd be jerking me around even more than Event Horizon. You'd have to at least go watch this season premiere before I put you in, Rocky. So, yeah, unfortunately. I'm not going to just have someone come up here and blatantly fuck him nah, I'm just lying. I'm just completely talking out my ass.
Here's the problem I have with there's a lot of people that believe that oh no, this show it shouldn't really try to do anything big, that it should focus on the everyday elements and whatnot. Here's the problem that I have with that sentiment. My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic is set in a fantasy setting. There are kingdoms, there's a hierarchy, there's magic, there's dragons, they have all of this stuff. It's inherently designed for big-scaled conflict. Because if you look at, like, freaking Ponyville, nothing happens in Ponyville.
Yeah.
If you look at Canterlot, nothing happens in Canterlot. And it's not to say it's a crime to focus on individual characters and their lives, but that can't be the entire show. Because then it completely makes the entire point of the setting useless. We don't need to have all of these fantastical elements to get a glimpse at what Twilight Sparkle's everyday life is. They might as well just be like a...
No. Here's the problem with that sentiment that you just gave, is that it's a fun world. Like, having a fantasy world doesn't mean, like, oh, you have magic in this world, therefore you have to have big scale conflicts and stuff like that. No, like, they've integrated fantasy elements in with slice of life elements.
Well, we're dealing with a lot of abstracts here. My questions is let's move along here. What was your problems? Obviously, I think Sombri's voice sucked dick. But what did you dislike about the bad guys in the episode?
Me or him?
Either or you. You know what, Pasta, you go first, then we'll do event.
I mean, like, Sombra was okay. He was very...
No, look, I'm not twisting your leg. Yeah, no, look, no one's going to shoot you in the face if you, like, I hate it for the following reasons. No, don't sugarcoat it for me. Don't blow smoke up my ass. Tell me why you think Sombri sucks.
He didn't suck. Or, like, I don't know... See, I have a bias towards Sombra because I loved him in Crystal Empire.
See, you like less is more. Was that it? You basically like seeing him more off in the background doing shit than being on the front line. Is that the problem?
More of it is that I like seeing, like, the sort of, I guess, indirect outcome of his rule. Like, that's what we saw in Crystal Empire. We saw
the traps and the little doodads.
Yeah, and like
he turned into a beat stick here.
Yeah. Now he's like very, I don't know. He's brash. He's like talking it up, and it's like, oh man, like the Sombra I liked was more menacing than this, and it's sort of.
Well, they put him under the gun. He had to get shit. Yeah, I mean, he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll go do this.
So, I think that I'm more forgiving to Sombra here purely because of the Crystal Empire. But if I had just gone off this episode, he just would have come across as a boring, bland character.
But they did something more interesting with him in the Crystal Empire, I think, because there was the whole deal of all the stuff that's set up sort of off screen and the things he's done that really set him up as, if he gets the power and if he gets in, then then the consequences of that are going to be really bad, and it was quite a unique angle to take. We sort of lost that here, I think.
Yeah.
So now, Event, what's your problems with Sombri or any of the B team of the bad guys?
I guess I have to say that none of his actions made any sense. The only thing that did make sense was the destroying the Tree of Harmony part. Other than that, like, Grogar comes up and says, "You've all been defeated by them before," and he's like, "Nah, I'll do it this time." And, like, of course you can say, well, he's planning on destroying the tree and whatnot. And I guess you can say that because he's been away for so long, like, what was that about? Wasn't he supposed to be dead?
Yeah,
he was in the ether. That's what they said.
What the hell is the ether?
Okay, so if you've ever watched fucking DBZ, the line would be, "I'm going to send you a different dimension." Basically, we can't call it dead, but he's dead. He's completely fucking dead. Because
he literally freaking shattered in the Crystal Empire. Like, he's supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
Okay.
Like, freaking Grogar is coming with a pretty decent plan. He says their strength is them working together. That makes sense. They have the magic of friendship. what if we, took advantage of that? Nope. I'm going to go do the same thing I did the last time. That doesn't make any sense. Well, how can he reasonably expect it to work?
But you had to know at least one of those dumbasses, because there's always going to be somebody who's like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'll do it my own fucking way.
I know, but the problem I have with it is that it's literally just like the script demanded it to be so. It's like Sombra's not a character.
I think it's completely...
He was a plot device.
Okay, it's completely believable because there are people like that. There are people.
Yeah, I know, but
and also it would actually be out of character if Sombra was suddenly all like, okay, I'll like. No, that's not Sombra at all.
I know, but that's a different problem.
Someone had to be sacrificed.
I would have had
you can't retcon this character.
If I would have personally handled this situation, I would have had all of the villains actually go head to head with each other initially. Oh, because it doesn't make any sense why they should all of a sudden band together, because it's like, oh yeah, but they all defeated us, but now I trust you to get all this stuff. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. I would have had them go head to head with each other. But that
would have been more interesting than just doing they're not gonna get on, so we're just gonna Sombra's gonna go off and just do the usual thing, and we'll just do the whole by the numbers story, and then he'll get defeated, yada yada yada, and it's like we know what's gonna happen, we've seen it all before, and it's not doing anything original.
Well, here let's do this. When you mentioned freaking the of all those people there that someone would have to go out to make an example, Chrysilius, at least canonically, not that they've executed it very well, is supposed to be the sneaky, manipulative one. So's Cozy Glow. I can't believe we even have to mention that here.
Who the hell is Cozy Glow?
Yeah, you know what? I've only caught a little bit of it. There's this... God, do I have to explain this one? There's any... we'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in that shit.
I can explain her in brief. Yeah. She was the villain at the end of season 8. Boy, have our standards gone down low. She was essentially
not like some drooling idiot who his lines were crystals and slaves. Oh no, they've gone downhill in this time. No pasta.
She's just like a manipulator, I guess. That's
because that's never been like useful before.
The one of many in this show.
Yeah, one of many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But what does she have any special powers or anything?
No.
No. She's a manipulative
really.
So why was she locked away in Tartarus?
You'd have to watch that episode. I'm sorry, I can't save you.
I'm not gonna subject my eyes to that.
No, that's fine. You know what?
Fair enough.
I've only caught glimpses of it as the show staff and the writers were sitting there breaking down their explanations for things, and they're like really terribly amused. Big Jim or whatever his name is like, oh yeah, we sent a little kid to hell. Ho ho ho. And I was like, oh okay, I haven't seen it yet. I did miss so much of season 8, but 9 came out, and I guess
She basically tried to get rid of all magic in Equestria. It's a silly, stupid plot.
Okay.
It was.
I'm not gonna question that then.
Yeah.
I'll add 2 hours to this stream. I'm good.
No, it's fine. But of the people that they had to sacrifice, they got rid of the one that was most powerful, which I thought made the most plot sense. He's the one least likely to sit there and listen to reason,
Yeah.
But if you agree with them getting rid of any of the people...
But how do you know that? I mean, Sombra's barely had any character.
So how do you know that doesn't work?
He's only had one appearance in the show, and he had no character. He had, 4 lines.
He had he didn't have lines, but you could infer from infer what his character was from what he did. The idea that he would be willing to work with others, no.
Yeah,
no.
He had a bunch of slaves.
Yeah. And actually, him taking over the Crystal Empire all went according to what Grogar wanted. Grogar sent him there because he wanted to make an example of Sombra.
Yes.
He knew he would fail.
I can't dispute that yet. I mean,
yeah.
It's only been the first 2 episodes, so.
Do you have an example of a show that you felt did it the right way, Event? Or book?
I don't know.
Book too.
Actually. I can't really think of I don't know. I'm sure if someone mentioned something it might ring a bell.
I was waiting for somebody who was like, you gonna cite Last Airbender and maybe a different show or something that might have spoke to you that you're like, ah, this thingamajig over here did better?
See, because usually a lot of like Legion of Doom type sort of organizations never really go off that well. I mean, like the most obvious example is what DC does.
Yes.
But like DC actually had all of like the different villain motivations clash with each other in a lot of cases, which I guess like I said, like I would have all the villains here clash with each other.
Well, what would you cut first to help fit that in? Because something has to come out.
What do you mean like that?
Well, there's a limited time. Yeah, we're looking at a 44-minute run time.
Well, I know that's the thing. I wouldn't do this in 2 episodes.
Okay.
Because it's a really complex idea to shove into 1 or 2 episodes. Like I said, like this could be an entire season. You can have like different character motivations,
and of course
then you are asking for an entirely different show.
Well, no, hold it.
I do not like this show.
Well, hold it.
This show is awful.
Well, hold it. You know what? I'm pretty sure if they threw in 5 or 6 songs in there, they'd be able to fit your whole idea. You know what? I would have taken a fucking villain song where they're fucking singing at each other. At least I would have looked at it. I would have been amused. I'd have been like, let's see where this goes.
Have you ever liked this show?
This would have been something we haven't had before.
I haven't watched this show since season 3. That was the last season of.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. What was the zenith of the what was the zenith of the show for you, Event?
Magical Mystery Cure.
Wow. Okay,
that's my favorite episode ever. Oh my god, I love that episode so much.
More music. Okay. Oh wait, the musician. Of course he likes Magical Mystery Cure. It all makes sense now. You and Sheldon had idolized that fucking episode.
Yeah, I don't really like this show. I got bored. I got bored.
Yeah, I was
like, okay, great. Like Twilight's a princess
now. What have you been watching,
now.
Man? I want to know what appeals to you. What have you been watching in your spare time? Are you just not staring at your ceiling this whole time, man? I want to know.
The only show I've watched since MLP was Adventure Time.
Okay.
Well, and boy, am I glad I did. That's actually something that I feel like didn't actually waste my life.
Well, what character spoke to you? Were you more of a fan of the Lich, or the Ice King, or what?
I really did like the Lich. Actually, he's super underrated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it's more of the story actually.
Yeah. That
tied it all together for me.
There are some really great fucking analysis videos on fucking Adventure Time. Yeah.
There are.
Okay.
But I mean, like I'm like, as I'm sure you guys have already seen, like I'm someone who looks at story a lot. So like MLP's terrible track record with like continuity is a really bad mark for me. I don't like shows. I mean, this is why I had a lot of problems with the Pokemon anime too. I don't like shows that reset every single episode, because I don't understand the point in it being a television show at that point. Like, why have a string of episodes in an overarching season if practically none of them relate to each other? That to me just sounds like a bad TV show. And I know people disagree, and of course there's always opinions.
Oh look, but man, I'd like everything to tie together. I've fucking watched BoJack, and everything in there fucking together. So
yeah, I mean, of course there are I generally prefer when it ties together, but like there's something to be said about the easy, you just watch it. Like, you don't have to watch them in order, because actually when I first started watching the show, I didn't watch them in order. I watched them completely out of order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see the point. I mean, why are you like freaking everyone prides this show on its never-ending infinite character development. Right? Like everyone's always learning something. Twilight in this episode learned again, not everything needs a plan. Like, how many times do we have to do that, right? Like, I don't see the point in not being one continuous flow of events. Because, like, what's the point of character development if nothing happens? Like, what are you developing your character for?
So what you're saying?
I don't care about Twilight as Twilight. I care about Twilight in context of the events around her. Like, I don't care about people. Like, I don't just want to watch people. I don't. It's boring literature. There's no point. Like, I want to care about people and what they do in the situations that they're given. That's what makes it interesting.
All right.
I don't care about individual story. Like, who cares?
All right.
Who
so
cares?
I have a question.
I do.
So you watched Adventure Time, right?
Yeah.
How much character development did Finn's dog really get?
Not much.
All right then. Yeah, I thought so. Bam. I was like,
Like there were some good arcs, but
yeah, I'm just saying, but he hasn't really
just
grown
kind
as
of
a character, though. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't say Adventure Time was perfect.
Okay.
No, but
as far as character development goes, I think it depends a lot on what kind of show you're trying to make and what tone you're going for. Sort of how crucial that is.
What do you mean how? Look, character development is crucial, like in everything.
Well, I mean, it's not
the point of literature.
The way you handle it. I mean, sometimes because like I suppose in a lot of comedy shows you can have a situation where a character part of a character is that the comedy around them is kind of the way they keep going back to square one, and the way they're sort of not learning things or not taking the lessons.
Yeah, but that's
I think
comedy's an exception. That's literally a rule of comedy. Is that you cannot have your characters learn.
Well,
that's what makes it funny. I mean, if they learned from all their mistakes, then there'd be no comedy.
but isn't the show comedy driven?
There's a lot of comedy in the
MLP?
show. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of comedy.
Yeah, but it's not a comedy.
All right.
It's one thing to have comedy in it, but
I'm
it's
setting
not
myself up
being
to
a fantasy
that's
adventure.
What I mean, sort of the tone.
So like, it actually is probably more of a comedy than it is a fantasy adventure.
Yeah. Let's put
but
this
that's
one.
not what they're going for.
All right. So
it's
again,
comedy, but there is a big
the whole
drama element to it.
I
as
do
well
have
in the
a
tone.
question for Event here. What would you say? And I'm setting myself up completely here to lose my ass. How much did Finn grow, like season 1 versus like season 9? What things has he learned that he would not do as the show went on?
He didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
The characters were the same from beginning to end.
Oh, I was about to assume that they did some kind of interesting things with Princess Bubblegum, where I was like, oh, I could see her character maybe making different choices along the way.
They kind of like gave us more of an idea of who she is, but
no.
Besides that, not much.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't see character development as a holy grail to what makes me like a piece of media. What I'm saying is, there's no point to character development if it doesn't go anywhere.
All right.
Well, I disagree with that. You can have it like there is joy to having just quick, easy 22-minute development stories that you don't need a lot of like there is an appeal to that versus I don't know, I'm gonna try to binge watch Game of Thrones. It's a whole giant.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I give shows, when I watch television shows, I give shows a pass for 2 or 3 seasons, because if you notice in a lot of shows, the first 2 or 3 seasons, it's mostly a bunch of isolated events that don't really seem to interact with each other, right? Like exploring the world, you're meeting the characters still. Normally, after season 2 or 3, like an overarching story starts to pick up. So yeah, I see the value in, isolated things happening, slice of life, like tipsy-topsy little events and whatnot. The problem is I don't want that to be a whole show. We're 9 seasons into MLP, and so much has happened, but nothing has happened.
I would actually...
The other thing as well is character development isn't necessarily the same thing as sort of long-running story arcs. You can have an episode that's almost entirely just standalone slice-of-life stories and still have characters develop through it. And they probably should, arguably.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, with the way that the writers write the characters for MLP, they would not be good in slice of life. Because they keep learning the same things over and over again, and that's boring.
Yeah.
If there was actually any gravity in the slice of life, if things had like everlasting changes, Fluttershy sells off one of her friends to indentured servitude, and if that had any long-lasting effects, then this would be a totally different discussion. But because every single episode completely resets to 0, the slice of life thing gets old. because there's no danger.
All right.
There's no dangers. There's no consequences.
I saw an interesting point here. It's not a comedy. It's a tragedy.
Well, this is a thing as well because we're in drama and the general sort of form of the tragedy in terms of its structure and with character development and stuff. And I've studied this stuff in script writing. That's part of there's a thing, your characters should go on a journey, and in terms of character development, but that character development can sometimes lead the character back to where they started, and they've still are, and often sort of a piece of drama which it probably wouldn't work for Friendship is Magic, but it's more often in something with more of a cynical kind of tone to it. A character goes on a journey and gets development, but ultimately it leads them back to where they started.
It's supposed to do so in a way that's not exactly the same way as the first. Like if you have a problem and you learn from that problem, right? The principles behind the roots of that problem are still there, right? You solve the habit. That habit those philosophies, that habit should manifest in something else that characters around them can say, oh, look, this goes back to you not solving the root of your problem. Like it shouldn't go back to, oh no, I don't have a plan. Oh no, my books aren't organized. It should manifest into something else. That's what's supposed to be clever about it. Not literally the exact same cut and paste situation over and over again. I
think that you are being way too simplistic with it, because actually a lot has changed. Like if you watch,
that's true as well.
If you watch the show from beginning to now, you would see so many changes, like from the subtle to the very overt. There are differences, like you stopped after season 3, but there was a lot going on in season 4. I mean,
you mentioned Fluttershy. Fluttershy's changed a lot since season 3.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any changes. I just watched the premiere today, and I don't see anything different.
Well, when did you cut out, so to speak?
I cut out, I think, 4 episodes into season 4. And I've watched.
Jesus, man! Look.
I've watched. I was watching the premieres and the finales.
Literally, she doesn't have any shyness episodes anymore. Like, she hasn't had a shyness episode since what? Season 5.
But the convention now is that every Fluttershy episode is all about how assertive she is now.
Yeah,
but overall, she's still the same character. I mean, getting rid of one flaw to me isn't character development. But see, here's the thing.
If you're going to give Finn a pass...
I didn't give Finn a pass.
All right, I grab it, Rocky.
Well, okay, it sounded like you gave Finn a pass.
I'm not giving Adventure Time a pass. I'm just saying I enjoyed it because of what they did. I'm not, I don't skip over flaws just because I liked something. I think that's a big problem that people have, is whether you enjoyed it and whether it's good are very different things.
That's true. Yeah,
Shalom,
and even
Rocky.
even if something
Shabbat Shalom, Goy.
You can always pick out flaws with it.
So what did you think of the season premiere, Rocky, now that you've taken a look at it?
Have you ever heard of the phrase e pluribus unum? Out of many, one.
Okay. Go ahead.
That sounds pretty good.
That was essentially the entire point of the episode. That was fashy as fuck. I love it.
Nice.
Why did you like it?
I literally just told you. It's about a group of people that operate as one, that have a lot in common, so they bond and they act as a singular unit, and together they are strong. Ergo, out of many, one.
It's Roman.
Yeah, the Fasquez.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will. Isn't that the entire show?
Well, no.
Of course it is, but they just emphasized it and they made it cool.
No. Actually, you're a bit wrong there, Event, where you made the remark. Rocky, you said when they have plenty of things in common. The main 6 don't have all that much in common. Would you not say?
Okay, you know what they said whenever they fried fucking King Sombra, right?
Yeah.
They were like, for our friends, for whatever, for our home, for Equestria.
Yeah.
Like, there you go, man.
You just liked it because a bunch of white people got together and blasted the black.
I mean,
I like Sombra. Fuck you.
I know, I'm just being a dick. But he was black. I'm just saying.
He was gray. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. He was great.
they have similarities, but like they also have differences.
No, think about this though.
Yeah,
One black guy comes in, and literally with every step and breath, he just blacks up the place. Everywhere.
Black.com.
There's some black crystals here.
Okay, no, but my point is, yes, they do have differences, but
literally dropping coal everywhere he goes. Black coal. Yeah, I'm saying. Go ahead.
God damn it. The kingdom of coal burners. But no, yeah, like those differences, like they're overcome by their unity, so to speak, like their friendship, their bonding.
So
they cover each other's weaknesses, bolster each other's strengths, etc.
Okay. That's actually true in the context of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of.
Sort of. What's your complaint, buddy?
Okay, so what I was going to say earlier in the fact that the characters haven't changed, right, is that freaking the very beginning, Celestia says, Twilight, you need to take over, right? And then everyone except Twilight is cool with it. And like, what are her friends saying? Rarity's like, yeah, I could make new drapes for the castle. And Applejack's like, I can go buck trees in the garden and whatnot. And I'm like, why are you... What? These are still the exact same characters that they were before.
They know what they're
good
at.
The exact same characters.
What the fuck is wrong with that?
Well, okay, let me explain.
They are the same. They are literally the same characters.
Like, I know, if I'm a plumber, I can be like, hey, I can take care of the pipes in the castle. It's not like me not changing. It's me knowing what I'm good at.
Yeah.
The problem is that in the context of the change situation, the whole point of character development is that you develop. Your priorities should be slightly different.
Okay, let me get this straight.
So after the same interests.
Yeah,
go ahead, pause.
Exactly. Like after,
I'm not.
Are you looking for soundbite answers?
Yeah, pause.
Are you looking for? Are you looking for soundbite answers that like show how they've changed? Because in like the beginning scene of the episode, it's sort of a cliche. Oh, we have to describe these characters to new people, but like. I don't even think in your hypothetical where, let's say, these characters in your mind developed a lot, how would you showcase that in the first, I don't know, 5 minutes?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, they haven't changed.
They have changed. You're just looking at the sound bites.
They haven't changed. They haven't changed at all. Having the same interests and acting different as the situation develops are very different things. I'm not saying they have to disown their talents.
What about both?
What I'm saying is the point is you're supposed to have both.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have different priorities as a situation develops. Like you are no longer.
What should their priorities be?
I don't know because there hasn't been a show to make them.
Pretending to be Twilight? Is that what you want?
There's literally been no show. I would make the show entirely different. There's no inherent value.
Fucking gay,
Can you give me an example of an animated character that, in your opinion, has developed? What would they be, and how did they develop?
Like, not even real fucking people develop that much. Get out of here.
Yeah, well, I'd still like to hear
the example.
Do.
Well, no, they don't.
Do.
Explain.
Yes, they do.
Explain, please.
Who in this fandom?
No.
Who on YouTube?
No, but really, like an animated character that has developed as much as you want them to. Just give me one.
I haven't watched that many TV shows, so I can't even really think of something off the top of my head.
Okay, a story then.
Yeah.
Just one character from a story that, in your opinion, has developed. Doesn't have to be a TV show. Could be a book. Could be anything. But just one.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. I read the Warrior Cat series when I was in middle school. Right?
Oh, okay.
And freaking the protagonist there, he's a I don't know how to explain all this without it being too long, but like he's
exactly. You can't explain it in one fucking episode, can you?
He's been saying
no. It took an entire series, multiple series, for him to develop.
Yeah. Try cramming that into one fucking episode.
Well, no,
buddy.
he keeps saying he used the whole season. Yeah, I got that part.
Red Lock.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to do it. Have you not read
a lot of people don't understand that when I criticize the show, I'm not criticizing just the writers. Like I'm criticizing everyone's choices. Whoever's responsible for introducing all of these complex ideas and saying, yeah, fit that in 2 episodes. Like, of course you're not going to be able to fit that into 2 episodes. So, like, the whole argument is kind of moot because I wouldn't handle it this way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for whatever the episode was, the premiere, it wasn't atrocious for what directions they had.
Okay,
but I'm not saying it's good.
So, fascinating. Tell us how you would fix it.
No. But
he said he'd take the whole season.
Yeah,
you take the whole season for a premiere, okay?
But see, here's the thing that I'm a little
formula,
bit.
Buddy.
Well, no.
Here's the.
Yeah, the formula's the problem, dog.
I can see where you.
It's too late to fix that. It's almost over.
Yeah, I gotta give.
You don't like the formula, but the thing is that the formula has actually it's gotten the fandom. That's part of the reason why the formula exists.
The show can't be good because of what it is. It can't be good.
So.
No, but
Surari Dragon from the comics made a remark here.
See, here's the thing:
that changed
the fundamental basis, the formula, which has drawn people to the show, seems to even that is not quite good enough. It seems for Event.
No, commercial success doesn't mean art is good.
No,
this is true, but
that's not what.
Just because people like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, look at PewDiePie.
This is true.
So let me get this straight. Just because you like it, it's good?
That's every critic.
That's
literally every critic.
That.
I hate to tell you
I understand.
I never said that.
Yeah.
No, I understand his point.
Your actions speak louder than your words.
All right.
So,
Rocky, you were saying here?
What was I saying? We got so derailed.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Yeah. Goddamn. All right.
That was interesting.
Indeed.
So, Event. So the one character from one story that you can mention off the top of your head is this one from the Warrior Cats show? The Warrior Cats?
It's a book series.
Yes.
Book series. Okay, so how exactly did this character change?
It's over a lot of events happening. I mean, a lot of experiences, a lot of changing ideals. Stuff happened. There's no other simple way to put that.
Okay.
Well,
so how does that apply to this episode? How would it change if you applied that to this episode? Please tell me.
Because it's the same thing with the MLP characters. You're telling me over here, well, how have they changed? Well, it's the same thing. You just now weren't able to give me a concrete thing that they've changed, that this character changed in. But I've given it for Fluttershy.
Well, that's a good thing because there's a lot of stuff that happened. I'm not going to sit here. I told you I read the book series in middle school. I'm not going to sit here and try to recall every single event that happened.
Well, you can recall one thing that changed,
and it had such an impact on you that you can't recall a single example of that
change.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Can you Spurgs get down to fucking brass tacks? I swear to God, you're like libertarians.
Yeah, no,
just get to the goddamn point.
Yeah,
what would you change about the episode?
If anything, that would basically make me wonder if that's basically I remember it being good, but do you remember why? No,
let's go on this autistic rant about this.
You guys asked me for one thing about something I read a long time, and I gave it to you. There was character development.
We don't fucking care.
I actually asked you about one character that that has developed in any story, and the only one that you could come up with was a character from middle school that you read that you don't even know why you liked the development.
I don't even know what your fucking gripe is anymore, buddy.
I didn't say I didn't know why. I said I cannot remember.
Of course you can't. You have no argument.
Well,
you don't know what you're doing.
You know what? We'll hold it. We could pause here for a minute. Go look up the characters wiki. Surely there's a brief explanation that would get the old nod in jockey.
I'm not really all that attached to this argument. I mean, everyone here is entitled to their opinion.
Not this lazy
everything is an opinion now. I'm gonna argue this point for 10 minutes, and then, like, when someone hears me, it's
and then throw that everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, really. Fuck right off, buddy.
What is this?
I'm
British
sorry,
Brody?
what?
Fucking hell! It's just my opinion, Ryan. God.
I don't even care about Horse that much. You're just being fucking dishonest.
See, here's the thing. We earlier were able to mention with Fluttershy just one thing that has changed. The fact that she's way more assertive than she was, especially from the beginning, but even from earlier seasons, like season 3 or season 4.
Let me give you an episode that would fucking probably you'd be at least entertained with. Surely someone like you, Event, and I don't mean just like you. I mean most bronies are laugh their ass off at this. There's an episode called Flutter Brother where basically where Fluttershy has a deadbeat jagoff brother. He's your atypical jagoff douchey fucking.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, and she and I believe it completely because I know family has less patience for family. I completely was like, yeah, this is I was like, this is perfect. Oh, this is all the character development you've ever wanted for fucking Fluttershy.
But like in that episode, it's demonstrated from the very beginning. Like she's way more assertive in that episode than she ever was in earlier episodes.
I think even back in the day, it would have probably been on the tip of her tongue, and she would have needed a good hard nudge. The way they portrayed her in that, where she's like, she looked like she was itching to do that already. She might have been too quiet back then, but even
show
then,
don't tell.
Yeah,
we all knew what she was thinking.
Yeah, I would have liked a flashback. That's the only thing I think that episode was missing was like Fluttershy being too polite beforehand. That's the only thing I think that episode's missing, which I can infer that on my own.
Everyone's a critic, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's still a great episode. I fucking adore that one. Holy shit.
So there's an interesting question in the chat about Sombra. If he wanted to get defeated on purpose in order to get rid of the power source that was used against him, I think you're giving this episode way too much slack. I don't think that Sombra was thinking that at all. I just think he was high on his own farts.
Really?
Yeah. What did he do after he won?
See, I would have thought actually you would have agreed because I think I just watched it. I think he, in the beginning when they were summoned, I think he pointed out that the elements of harmony are the problem.
Yeah. And he got rid of him.
Yeah, I think that from pointing out that the elements of harmony from the very beginning were the problem was his plan to get rid of it. I thought this guy was asking, like, when he was defeated at the very end, if that was... No. Yeah, no.
Because, yeah.
Okay.
No, but that was his plan. My whole thing is that, like, once he got to the end point, all he was doing was just hamming it up. Like
I like a good hammy villain, but here's someone's ask. Also, wasn't Sombra dead? How exactly is he back? Well, they said they drew him back from
Google
the
search Ganon.
Yeah,
magic.
Yeah, let's put it. Yeah, I'm basically
Google
gonna say
search
this.
Ganondorf.
Yeah, if they were allowed to, they would have just said from the afterlife. I'm guessing they literally drew him back from the dead. From what I heard, someone said that one of the original plans is that they were going to have Sombra using, like, skeletons, but they couldn't get away with it for the show. And I was like, yeah, I could kind of believe that.
What, skeletons? Why not? That's pretty tame.
I don't know. Maybe with the water rating.
Mr. Bones isn't exactly, like, not family-friendly. I doubt that's the case. I think they just scrapped it because they didn't really think it was a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
It's also easier to do mind control helmets.
I like them. They were neat. Lol, spooky, scary skeletons. Go ahead.
But yeah, like the thing is, the only thing that I would change in this episode if I really had to write it was maybe the retirement thing. I mean, this episode played out about as much as I expected it to. I didn't think they were going to explain the retirement thing is that much, though I think they should have. And there wasn't much room here for what can you do with this premise in 44 minutes? I don't,
Yeah.
It felt like they were rushing through everything at 100 miles an hour.
It's just boring to me.
If I wanted to be a turbo nerd, which I will for the hell of it, the show staff when they asked, Twilight's gonna outlive all her friends, and they're like, no, they're not. Twilight's gonna die like normal. Okay, then why are the two sisters who are immortal retiring?
You're gonna die. Someone will kill you with a knife. You gotta look good for when you get stabbed with a knife.
Good stuff. Yeah. It doesn't kind of make sense. We're retiring, but aren't you guys immortal and the rest of those guys are schleps? Aren't you just going to have to come back? Wouldn't it just made sense? Hey, we're going to take a vacation for about, I don't know, 60 or 20 years.
Yep, that's
however
the
long
point
ponies
have
live.
mentioned.
Not that they die, lol.
Yeah. See, like, that's the type of stuff that should have been explained. Because that's one of the first first counters to this idea, is that, well, wait a minute, aren't you guys immortal? But they can't actually ask that question because that implies death.
They've
don't want to talk about death.
They had that funeral in fucking goddamn the CMC episode where they had somebody like doing like a mass thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
See, this is the thing.
Oh yeah,
this is one of the problems with the show doing this idea is that Hasbro and like all of them, they don't want to even touch upon the death to the point where you can't ask the question, well, aren't you immortal? So then why even do this stupid retirement thing if you can't even address it fully?
I mean, maybe
it was a prank.
Maybe they might find some way to make the main six immortal by the end of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the end of the show.
Yeah.
So there's no harm in it.
Yeah.
I got to say, that's pretty cruel to do, though. I mean...
What, make the main six of Alicorns?
Some of them have family. Like, they're going to see them.
Yeah. Applejack's going to live Apple Bloom. Oh, baby.
And then, like, what about Spike or Starlight?
All right, so
yeah.
let me explain.
Fuck Spike.
All right, so hold it. Let me show my nerd once again. Dragons live for thousands of years, so Spike will be long for a good long time.
Absolutely, and he still would have not gotten laid.
Thousands of years.
He is going to be a wizard. Let's be real.
Thousands of years of not getting laid with Rocky. I get to see Rocky looking up, doing a voiceover of the episode. See a star swirl there? He's never been laid. Just look at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just look at that fucking.
Unfortunately, there's not enough justice for that to be true. Ember sort of exists. And
oh yeah, I forgot about that. God.
I mean, so did Neats.
Yeah.
Like, shut-ins still just exist.
True.
That's all they do. They just exist.
Fuck.
You know what also doesn't make sense about the retirement?
Yeah.
Like, how long has it been since the 1,000 years Summer Sun celebration? Like a couple years?
Yeah.
Luna's only been back since then.
Yeah, no shit.
Like,
good point.
She's been away for 1,000 years. She doesn't need to retire. What does she do?
Yeah, so the only
I don't really see how this is.
Yeah, the only way that makes sense is it's some kind of like way to screw with Twilight.
Do you know? Wait,
none of this not make like. How does this not make sense though? I don't quite understand.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
Well, Luna hasn't been around long enough.
I just have to ask. I have to ask Event a question here. Do you know what Luna does? Like her job?
I know what Luna does, but what I'm saying is she's been absent for about 1,000 years before the 1,000-year Summer Sun celebration.
Yeah.
She hasn't really been working that much.
True.
Or you think she's retiring? Her services aren't needed.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even more so, like, so if their jobs really are that important, how are they being replaced?
See, the thing is, I don't know if their jobs actually are that important.
So, like, Celestia raises the sun, Luna raises the moon. Who's going to do that? Or are they going to continue to do that?
Did you not see the season 4 premiere? Season 4 finale? Because that happened in the season 4 finale. They just
actually, have you not seen season 4? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the season 4 finale again?
I forget.
They give all their powers to Twilight, Celestia,
and Luna. She does raise the sun and the moon. Like, and they've also had it explained in the show that
they literally
unicorns
their
can do
magic.
it. Yeah, like
I
there's
know
someone that can cover that.
Yeah.
That.
Everyone can raise the sun and moon, Goy. You don't have to be an alicorn.
And I have a grievance with that then too, because then like their roles really aren't all that special, are they?
Well, were they ever? They never really did.
Yeah, were they ever?
Yeah, I have a problem with that.
I know that they were supposed to canonically, but that stopped
the more we talk about this episode, the more it seems like your beefs really apply less to this episode and more to the whole series.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, you're just shitting
exactly
on the fucking premiere.
Yeah. I haven't really been making that a secret. I'm
okay.
Really
I get
surprised it took you this long to catch up.
Okay, so you're a faggot. We get it.
Okay.
No, it's just like I thought that the point of this whole like stream and everything was so that we would talk about the the goods and the bads of this episode. But
to me, it's impossible to discuss one particular episode without bringing out how terrible the show is.
Well, then you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, I'm with him on that.
You can't mention how there are so many inconsistencies with the universe in this one episode without pointing out that they don't even bother trying to keep consistency throughout the entire show.
What?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're critiquing this episode. It's sort of like, oh man, why is Twilight an Alcorn? Like that happened decades. That happened like years ago.
Yeah, there are still people bitching about that, believe it or not.
Yeah, but see, this is what I was just talking about was in context of their retirement. See, if that hadn't happened, that wouldn't have come up.
No, but see, the thing is, it's like you haven't watched an episode of the show because it's always been an issue. So, like, we're trying to individually critique and look at this episode, but you have like a problem with the whole series.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's blocked.
Well,
oh my god!
My advice.
You even read Thomas Paine.
Yeah. my advice.
Coming across a bit like Applejack in that one episode where she's supposed to be a judge, is just saying, "I hate fashion."
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like that.
Are you calling Event Horizon a silly pony? I'm gonna stop.
I am.
Okay, fantastic.
I think you're silly.
Oh,
you're a silly Billy,
dude. All right.
I don't see the problem with that.
All right.
Me neither.
What's the problem with me bringing up all the context of the show in order to point out what I have a problem with an episode?
Because you're overthinking it.
No, the reason I say it's a bit of an issue is because like everyone here, or at least most of everyone here, has seen like the majority of the episodes.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I slacked off in season 8 pretty hard, and I think Rocky did too. Probably.
Yeah.
Where did you really cut out Rocky, just for example?
I stopped right after I saw the movie. I was like, "Fuck this."
So like 6 or what?
I think so. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
So like he's been gone for like 2 seasons, and he still even gets the gist of it.
But see, like part of doing an episode review or just talking about an episode in general is like comparing it to other episodes. But if all you're going to do is just say that the entirety of the show, the bedrock it's based on...
Who determined that episode should only be compared to other episodes?
No, but it's like, what's the point? Like, why would anyone... We don't have a group of people here who've never watched the show.
Yeah.
We have people here who have watched the show. So talking about the whole show is just kind of like, well, it's the wrong audience.
That relates to the episode?
Hey, let's call the Mona Lisa shit, because look at other Da Vinci's works. Totally better. The Mona Lisa is garbage.
I haven't started talking about, like, freaking the dragons and the griffins and crap. I only talked about the overarching problems with the show that relate to the episode.
Okay,
I don't see how that's relevant.
Okay, but we're talking about the episode, not the series.
Okay, can you compare this episode to any of the 3 premieres that you've seen?
I've seen almost all of the premieres.
Oh, you said that you stopped watching after season 3.
I stopped watching after season 3, but I saw the premieres and finales for season 4, 5, and 6.
Well,
you missed the Weird Al episode. What the fuck, man?
What? Okay.
Oh, the one with cheese sandwich?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, so you've seen... Okay, then compare... So how does this episode relate to the other premieres? Because honestly, I think that this is one of the weakest.
Oh, you do this.
It might not be the weakest.
You do this
but
all
it
the
is
time,
one
Pasta.
of the weakest.
Well, no, hear him out.
All right.
It follows pretty much the exact same formula. I mean,
is it better than any
really,
other episode in the show?
It's actually closer. It's actually closer to the season 4 premiere, in the fact that when I was watching this premiere, I was actually expecting them to introduce and solve the conflict in the 2 episodes. Clearly, now we have the somber thing was whisked away, but now the Groger and Chrysalis and the rest of the villains are going to appear at some other point during the season, which I'm actually impressed at. That's
I cannot
closer
wait for my bug wifey to show up personally.
Well, she was
that's
there.
Closer to
Yeah, I know she's
going
to show up later, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
actually
back
that's
to work
closer.
now.
That's
We'll
actually
be
also
lucky
close
if we
to
get
season
3
5 too.
episodes in the middle of the season. We'll
Yeah.
be lucky.
Hey, fuck you! I take what I can get.
Like the whole season. Okay, that's actually something here that I hate about this episode, or really dislike, is stop doing season-long story arcs. You've proven
you do
that
nothing
you
with them.
can't fucking commit. They can't commit. So why keep doing them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's
I don't
a
see
few
the point.
episodes that are relevant to it, and then it's just like filler for the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
I
stop
totally-
doing it.
Yeah, no, I've gotten to the point where I'll sit through the premiere and I'm like, yeah, and then I already feel like I'm coming off the roller coaster, and we're back to the mundane
Yeah.
suck. Oh, damn it.
Mundane Matt suck.
Yeah.
But it gets you so hyped up, and then the next episode is just about like selling onions or some shit.
Here's Sweetie Bloom contemplating her navel.
Yeah.
I liked it more. I liked it more when this series, earlier on, I'd say that probably around season 4 is when they really started to ham fist those season long story arcs in. Is I liked it when they didn't imply that there would be a continuation, because we all know that the continuation won't happen until the finale, and maybe if we're lucky we'll get an episode in the middle.
Boy, where I'm from, we call you people Gen 1ers.
Hey, look. I don't mind when the filler's good. Just I've gotten lost my patience when
I
it's
like
so...
filler.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's
See,
I
when
just
it's
want
so...
to get comfy and watch
You know,
horse.
No, see, the thing is, I love the filler too. I'm just saying, give me a premiere that is self-contained. Don't give me a premiere that implies you'll be doing a lot more, because I know you're not. I know the history. I know this show doesn't do that.
Okay, so what you want is a premiere that essentially sets up the finale as a sequel to the premiere.
No, what I'm saying is just have a premiere that is a filler episode in of itself that just
like the season 1 finale, the Grand Galloping Gala episode. That was an amazing finale.
God, I hate Gala. Gala can kiss my ass.
Yeah, about that.
I don't see the point. I don't see the point in bringing up all these complex ideas just to shove them in for 44 minutes.
And no,
So did
no,
you
hold,
like
hold,
the
hold,
season
hold.
1 premiere?
You said you like Gala because it doesn't tie together, but Gala's referenced all through season 1, sir. No.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that.
But,
yeah.
No. But here's actually the difference though with that episode.
They built up
that
Gala
season-long story
so
arc.
much. Holy shit.
One, so that is brought up in the that's the episode right after the premiere, and because it's the first of the series, we didn't actually know that would happen.
Yeah.
But
What
also
would happen?
because it wasn't the premiere episode.
To be fair, I
What
bet
would
none of us
happen?
were watching in season 1, so to say that none of us would know is not quite on
None
the
of us
money.
would know what would happen, though.
Yeah,
No, but
Paustin's
he's
talking
saying
as
on
if
the
we were
first- he's
2011.
saying
The
on
point I'm getting
God
at
damn it.
is that because it's not the premiere, it's different. With the premiere, it generally is the rule that they will always bring it back up in the finale.
Yeah,
And it's annoying
Ticketmaster is where they
Why,
fucking set up the
though?
final for fucking...
because nothing's going to happen throughout the majority of the season, so why even bring it up?
Because it's entertaining. Isn't that the point?
I'll
No.
admit, I kind of see where Paz is coming from, and that bothered me a bit more. Well, no, it's bothered me now. And I've had less and less patience for the crap in between.
See, here's a great example. Earlier in the series, so they had the whole thing with Starlight becoming a main cast member,
Yeah.
and then in that season, they hardly touched on it.
They did here.
So
and there.
what's the fucking point?
How many episodes?
I remember that happening.
Okay,
too.
let me ask you this though: how many episodes?
That
would
was
you
a bit
say?
silly.
Yeah. How
many episodes did she have in that?
No.
season?
I'm
3.
saying like okay, how many would you want?
How many would I want? Okay,
Yes.
that's actually. So I would set a low bar
5 or
at
6.
like 10, at
Whew.
least 10 in the middle of the season.
That's an awful lot for one character.
I know,
Yeah,
I know,
I don't know,
but,
man.
But it's not. It's not about the character. It's about the change. I mean, you're adding a new cast member. Like, why wouldn't that be significant?
Yeah, I guess you got
At least have her appear or do something in them, because I seem to remember in season 6, like there's only like the 5-6 episodes you even see her do anything
in fact,
at all.
one of my real life buddies pointed out that with a lot of
I'm
the episodes,
skeptical already.
well, thank you, but in season 6, there are a ton of episodes where Starlight doesn't even appear in the background. Like you could watch that episode and you wouldn't even know that Starlight was like a new cast member.
like the movie.
That's pretty bad.
I guess.
I did like the premiere just because, as much as I like Starlight Glimmer, they didn't just let her save the day, or they just kind of let her get railroaded. And I was like, oh, good, we don't have to focus on.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? So many people would be fucking butthurt if they did that. Everybody would be like, oh yeah, no, they're shoehorning her in every episode.
They were already.
Okay.
Everybody would say that. Everybody would whine about that.
But then
But the thing is, I heard a bunch of people expecting that. I heard
Yeah.
when Twilight was introduced, I heard a bunch of people saying, "Oh, she's going to replace Twilight." Starlight was introduced. They were going to be like, "Oh, she's going to replace Twilight."
Yeah, 'cause that was
And so, like,
Corcoran
if they did that, everyone would be expecting that.
so
Which
but here, here's the thing.
Well, Corpulent's also a dumb villain.
Season 7 executed on that idea better. It had more Starlight episodes in it, and it developed the character.
Mm-hmm. I
At
do really like
least-
Starlight. Yeah.
And honestly, if it wasn't for season 7, I wouldn't like her, because season 6 was barely any development. Like, she had 3 episodes, and even in that, she kind of didn't really have 3 episodes, because one of her, the first one she had, the No Second Prances, that one was, at first it was her episode, but then it kind of veered into a Twilight episode. Then we also had Heartwarming Tale, which honestly wasn't really about her.
Yeah.
It was about a other character that was subbing in with a Starlight Glimmer skin.
Yeah, she's LARPing as someone.
And then
Silly.
And then we had the last one. Every little thing she does or knows, I forget the
The
title
one
of
where
it.
she mind rapes the main section.
Yeah.
Little thing she
And that was
does
the only
magic.
episode that she actually had an arc.
Love that one.
So, and you know what's funny about that? That episode actually was one of the last episodes in that season, and in it,
Well, wait a minute.
she's been like flaking off on
You
her
forgot the
friendship
Trixie
duties.
one. You forgot
Yeah, no,
the
I
Trixie.
said No Second Prances.
Okay, my bad.
So this, the every little thing she does episode, that was one of the last episodes in that season, and in it, it's been shown that she's been like slacking off on her friendship duties. So my interpretation of that as a fan watching is, oh, well, they've just been, why haven't we gotten Starlight Glimmer episodes? Because she's just been slacking off in the show. So there hasn't been anything to show.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah. She's been gold bricking.
And
So
then the very next,
why'd they freaking introduce her? I don't understand. I thought they were gonna try to make her more important.
they
I think she's
eventually
more important.
did.
She's good. I consider her a side character, honestly.
They eventually did. But it took season 7 too. I don't honestly. The only explanation I got for it is that by the time, so like they made the season 5 finale, of course, where she's redeemed, and she essentially like joins the cast, but like they already had so many episodes already done and planned out for season 6 that like most of the Starlight episodes they came up with went to season 7. That's like the best theory I got. So basically, my whole question would be, well, then you should have just waited until like the finale of season 6 or something. Like you shouldn't have had that. Like there be a wasted season.
So you would have just had her screwing around on like the second episode. So you would have been like, okay, so now we know where this is going.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, move every little thing she does to episode 3.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be great.
Who says that they happen in order?
We don't know, but it's like that was the only episode that was purely a Starlight Glimmer arc. Purely, no second prances. It became a Twilight arc. Heartwarming Tale. It wasn't really a Starlight arc at all. It was more of a Christmas Carol rendition. Wow.
I mean, is there anything wrong with that?
No.
Is there anything wrong with introducing a character that, like a new character, and then not?
He's referring to the whole season as opposed to the specific episode.
No, I'm referring to the fact that there's a Christmas episode. Like every fucking cartoon does that.
No, he's
no, that's not what I'm.
Go ahead.
What I'm talking about is that the season-long, like the premiere, set up a premise that the season didn't fulfill.
Yeah. And they did that again with season 8, really. Because
they did.
Setting up this whole school idea and then just going away to retell the same kind of stories they told in season 1.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, they ditched the whole. Hold up.
Wait, really?
Hold up. We was Kangs. Hold up. So they ditched the school shit.
Kinda, sorta.
Wait,
okay,
what?
Go back and watch that.
It was just sort of in the background the whole time.
Yeah, they had like 4 or 3 episodes total.
One of the episodes that I caught with that. Yeah, one of the episodes I caught with that was basically the kids are in the background and they had Rarity and Rainbow Dash are trying to.
That was one. Yeah. Then they also had a Rainbow and AJ one.
Let me bitch about that episode. That fucking episode pissed the.
Are you talking about the school premiere?
No. There's an episode, like I said, where Rainbow Dash and fucking Rarity are supposed to be friends, and Twilight brings them up and says, "Hey, look, these are how friends get together." And the part that pisses me off about that is they're both teachers. They're both Twilight's friends, and maybe at first. Maybe them not noticing that this puts Twilight in a bad light. Maybe they don't realize that they're, teachers or some shit like that. But repeatedly, like a series of times, do I have friends that would dick me like this? Absolutely. Do I believe that Twilight's friends would do this? I don't know. That's probably the biggest assholeish. That's the most dickish that fucking Rainbow Dash and Rarity have ever been collectively. That they couldn't at least fake it for fucking that long. Just irritated the dick out of them. Yeah.
See, yeah, but. Like that's and going back to the premiere, that's one of my big problems with this premiere is that they're trying to do another season-long story arc, and they've shown that they just simply can't do. They can't fulfill these story arcs. So why keep adding them? And I honestly think that the Brony fandom is partly responsible for them thinking that they should do season-long story arcs because they never actually live up to them. The only season that was even close to living up to it was season 4, the first one that they really did.
I thought you were going to say one with the gala because they just referenced it. Would you just feel good if they just mentioned it offhand and reminded everybody because that's what gala did?
Yeah, like what I would say is don't put it in the premiere. Have it be low key, like what they did with season 1.
Well, they kind of did that with the school, and the school wasn't even that big of a deal. They mentioned it.
They brought it up in the
drew
premiere.
Me away from the show, but
I'm prepared to argue that one with you, Rocky, because you're like, I'm like, the show's literally about friendship, Rocky.
Yeah, but it's not about fucking racial diversity. That was politics, and you know it.
Okay, let's say that's so. It's not like they made the zebras one of the 6 races. Why are you offended?
No, but see, my point.
Let's be honest. The yaks are Polish.
About horses. I just want a cartoon about horses. I don't want your fucking Jewish shit.
The Griffins are Israeli. Come on now.
No, okay, they're like scum Israeli. They're not the international Jew. They're just a domestic Jew.
Hey,
look, that big ass nose. They love gold. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Like I said,
You know what? Now that I thought about it, if I would have waited till the last day at fucking Windy City Con, I would have just asked, so, did you guys purposely make the Griffins be anti-Semitic? And just made me get hurled out the door?
It's like, what are they going to do? Hear me now, quote me later. Okay. We're going to get, at the very most, 3 or 4 episodes in the midst of this season on this season-long story arc, and that's if we're lucky.
No, I agree.
Is that what they've been doing?
Usually, that's what they've done every episode. I think they'll probably have like cozy spying or some shit like that.
Most of it will be filler, slice of life stuff.
Yeah, and that's how I know I'm going to skip it unless we see, okay, here's another Patton Oswalt episode. Okay, cool.
But see,
here's
the funny thing is
cheese sandwich episode, which we'll probably get.
The funny thing is that I actually prefer the quote unquote filler stuff over most of the season long story arc shit. So I just would like it if they just stuck to the slice of life, please.
Jesus.
Ugh.
I like that too. It's pretty comfy.
It is comfy.
Well, they kind of did that for was it season 7's opener?
They did, and you know what? The funny thing is, season 7's actually my favorite season.
I did like the opener where I was like, okay, cool. The stakes aren't that high. They jerk around Twilight where she's like, okay, I'm not sending her off. And I'm like, yeah, I had a feeling that they weren't going to.
I forget which premiere was that.
Okay, so season 7's basically where fucking goddamn Discord alludes to fucking Starlight Glimmer being sent away, and he just dicks with her, and Twilight's like, I don't want you to go. And like the next episode isn't even connected to the premiere. It's just Trixie and them, and she loses the fucking table.
I need to look at it again. I can't
remember.
No, but see, here's the thing. I don't think that the season 7 premiere is really that good because it's lying. She didn't learn that much, and going off season 6, we didn't see much of it. So I don't like the premiere for that aspect. But what I love about season 7 is that no season-long story arc. And then what they did at the very end was they sort of integrated other episodes into like the finale that you didn't think would be connected. And
see, that's interesting because I know someone who's actually criticized it for kind of that exact same reason and thinks that they should have set it up that it was going to be season.
No, you're a faggot. I mean, I see Pasta's point, and I think he's absolutely right. That is optimal.
Yeah, because I would rather watch an episode.
I think it works fine.
I would rather watch an episode like watch a season, not knowing that the episode I'm watching is only one part of this larger whole. Like it makes that one episode more fulfilling.
I'll go with this one, and I feel free that everyone's going to jump on me for this one. In this, the same critique that all the Steven Universe fans bitch about, that like, oh, okay, so we're going to do like the arc, and okay, now we're just going to slack off to some bullshit here and distract away from what the fuck you guys are waiting to come back to. That's basically it.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what Pasta was saying earlier that I really liked was in the finale, it alludes back to all the stuff that happened in that season, filler or not.
Yeah, and
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I mean, it wasn't completely like that with the season 1 story arc, but to a degree, like we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know, for example, that they were going to do like after Ticketmaster. We didn't know, oh, well, we're going to have an episode about the dresses. We didn't know that. So, like, it made it a reward. And we didn't know, I mean, like, maybe you could have foreseen it, but we didn't actually know that we were going to see them go to the Grand Galloping Gala. So, that's the thing.
Well, that's I said this earlier, Pasta. I don't think any of us were around for 2011 watching MLP.
I wasn't either. So
yeah, I was about to say I'm almost confident that everybody in this call wasn't in the 2011 Brony. We all kind of came in probably whenever the fuck we came in, whether it was season 3, 4, or whatever the fuck.
I was
2013 here, but yeah.
Season 2.
Yeah, I came in during the hiatus between 3 and 4, so I can't speak of what my expectations were.
Yeah,
maybe that's part of the problem where all the analysts came in. They had that big chunk, and then you got spoon-fed one season at a time, and you're like, I'm disappointed for having to wait.
No, like my whole thing is just do filler, like the slice of life stuff. Because if you tell me that I should expect episodes to come related to this one thing,
well,
and then you don't deliver on it like you have a history of not doing.
Isn't Event's case optimal? Because he could skip right through the filler and just watch the beginning and the end. I haven't watched any of this shit. Perfect. You can jump right to the good part.
That's how I was watching the show from season 4 on. That's exactly how I was watching.
That's not how you watch the show.
Yeah, that's not how. See, but that's the problem here, because the show isn't like that. The show, the best season again that we had for season-long story arcs was season 4, and what was that, like 5 episodes in the middle?
I'll give you a filler episode that if you skipped ahead, you probably missed Mending Fences, which is fucking god tier.
Yeah. Here's another one. What about the Applejack parents episode?
Oh God, don't.
That was so good. That was so good.
Here's the funny thing about
people
that.
telling me to watch that episode.
You know, I fought watching that one tooth and nail when I finally saw it. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
See, that's what this show is all about. It's all about those little moments, those little moments that you add them all up, and it's just fun, simple slice of life stuff. If you watch the show for this grand adventure sort of deal, well, no shit, you're gonna be disappointed.
Well, the thing is, the show lacks a lot of those moments. Is the problem?
No, it doesn't. You even said yourself, you only watch the fucking premieres and the finales.
Yeah.
So what ground do you have to stand on? Tell me.
Okay, so the point of slice of life is that it's not just meaningless things happening, right? Like there has to be things that are going on.
We just discussed.
Rocky, let me talk, dog.
Okay.
Let me talk, dog. Yeah. Wait until I'm finished before you yell at me. Do you think you could do that?
Yes.
All right.
I got
Thank
next
you.
though.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. You guys are telling me how the Applejack episode is like, Pasta just said, like that's what the show is about. I felt watching a lot of the episodes in consecutive order during seasons 1 through 3 and onward into 4. I watched a bit of 4. I felt like I wasn't getting anything out of it. That it's just a bunch of, kind of meaningless, kind of wishy-washy, sort of, fun to have, and nothing of real value was actually happening, right? Like, you're telling me the show's supposed to be entertaining, it's not supposed to be that serious, and, I don't watch things just for entertainment. I watch things to take them seriously, unless they're a comedy. Comedy is always an exception.
Okay.
And so that's why I was just like, well, let me just watch the season premieres and finales then. Okay, and the season 7 finale was the first finale. I was like, oh wow, look at this! I actually missed something.
Well,
and yeah.
There are a lot of fucking story arcs that come to an end that aren't necessarily set up. You saw like fucking when Rarity finally got her fucking shop and shit that's like in between. That's more important than anything you see in the God, I can't believe I said that.
Spoiler alert.
I want to censor myself for putting over Rarity like that, but go ahead. I know it breaks Pasta's heart for me to shit on Rarity.
I don't dislike her
Rarity,
anymore.
Though. You just don't.
So you just were saying that after you saw season 7's premiere, we're like, oh man, I missed something. Here's the thing: you didn't miss anything. Season 6 hardly.
I was referring to the Pillars of Equestria episodes.
Oh, okay. But then I also have another big question, and please don't get offended by this. Why did you watch the season 9 premiere? Like, no joke.
I asked him to. It was like, look, if you're going to yeah.
Because if I was in your shoes, I would honestly be like, well, this show doesn't, it's mostly slice of life stuff. The season-long story arcs never are, get fulfilled. So why should I watch this season-long story arc?
Look, again, that's my fault. Freaking Event Horizon's like, he asked me for another King of Limbo, and I was like, oh, you know what? Past Analysis has some things in common where they're less than completely fulfilled with the show. Maybe they'll hit it off. And then Pasta's like, this guy's more crotchety than I am. Fuck this shit.
Pasta is actually sounding smart. Event, not so much.
I had no intentions of watching the premiere.
Wait a minute. I'm actually sounding smart? So what, are you implying that I usually don't sound smart?
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, is Rocky really a standing ovation?
Oh, okay.
That's not how you use that term, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Surgeon.
So, like, Here's a fun thing to talk about with the episode.
I was waiting for Rocky to recap. Are you expecting Murdoch levels of character development?
My favorite
What
bit,
is white?
My favorite bit in this whole premiere, probably, like, as much as I hate how it was shot, I love the whole twilighting bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, classic twilighting. Like, I love that it's simple, down to earth. Crap.
It's the kind of faggy things friends would do with other friends. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really good.
This from the guy who's called pasta. Yeah, he'd know. He totally would know.
Yeah. No, like, and then also I loved it when Starlight came in and she's like, "Wow, you're twilighting hard." Like, oh my god.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to have friends like check you and shit. You know, crap.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been around people enough, hi Event, you might know. Look, I like you, Event. I'm usually not the one who tells you to fuck off. You do it self-imposed. Maybe there's a level of lack of empathy. Yeah, that's it.
Fuck off, Event.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We watched other shows where we're like, yeah, that's where we watched American Dad, and we're like, yeah, Roger's kind of like Rocky. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'd find a character who's like Event. Let's see. I'd have to, I'm gonna have to start watching shows till I could see someone who reminds me of Event Horizon.
The one thing I will say about that twilighting scene is that I don't know if any of you guys kind of felt this way when you were watching it. When I first watched that bit, I was kind of weirded out by them putting all of them in the same shot, like just one after another. I'm like, okay, this is getting a little cramped. Can you like move it back? You know, I don't know. It felt like they were hammering me over the head with I'm the honest one. I'm the like you know.
They beat everyone out. Come on, they do that all the time.
Yeah, they did that with Discord when he gave this little speech, but I kind of liked it. So
little speech.
Oh, also, I loved it when Discord was like, oh, okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to get... Of course she's upset. Then you're all going to say, it's okay, and she won't agree with you. Like, I know that...
I've been that guy.
I've been that guy, too.
I love that he mentioned that, because it's like, please, thank you. It brought down the cringe a little bit.
Yeah, I've had those moments trying to explain things to Buttons. Hi, Buttons, I see you there in the chat. Yeah, I've had a couple.
Say hi, Buttons.
Yeah, I've had.
Hello,
yeah, I'm sure I've had a couple of moments where I've seen like Horizon over here do like certain things that were somewhat consistent. Where the Contrarian part, where he's like, oh yeah, that one movie of Equestria Girls wasn't so bad.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been. Okay, that's all I said.
Okay.
That's my opinion too. Honestly.
That's all I said. All right. I didn't. Right. I liked it because I was somewhat impressed. That's it.
The first one was kind of gay, but the second one actually.
In my response for Rainbow Rocks, I was like, okay, so it's gonna be My Little Pony meets Gem. Got it. And maybe because my fucking meter was so ridiculously low. Oh, this is a great deal better than that. I had a good time.
My Little Pony meets the Pillarman.
I still love the first one, but the second one is better. Like, way better. Third one's sort of where they start. Like, it's still great, but it's also where they're going downhill because they added in Human Twilight, and in my opinion, that was a ginormous mistake.
Well,
whatever the one is that they do that sports competition with the other school, that one was boring as fuck.
That was it. Well,
I'm not rewatching that.
Yeah, that's the third one. That's the third one.
Yeah, they did the same story over and over again because they we've seen Twilight do it before. We saw Twilight redo it in Equestria Girls. We've seen Moondancer do it. We've seen Sunburst or Starburst or whatever fucking your waifu pos. I forget the bitch's name.
Yeah.
Rice Roni Jabroni 3652. We've seen it with Starlight Glimmer.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that with EQG that to me doesn't make sense. So like off at the very beginning, they start off with copy characters because they were trying to like bring in people that liked the show to like this. Makes sense. But then they're trying to, separate this IP from the show.
Yeah.
And how do they do that? Oh, well, they just create the copy of the other show's protagonist and they put that new character, quote unquote, new character into this new IP, and they expect that this now they're two separate things. No, they're still way too similar.
Wait, are you talking about Sunset Shimmer?
Yeah.
I'm talking about adding in,
Twilight.
as they refer to her now, Sci-Twi, the human Twilight. Like,
yeah.
Oh, her. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, don't shit talk Sunset.
Oh,
dude. No, this is
Sunset Shimmer is my fucking waifu,
it's
man.
true.
Yeah, my nigga, right here.
Yeah, no, you missed it. I still remember when we were at fucking BronyCon 2015, and there's Pasta stroking his Starlight Glimmer fucking plushie like he's a Bond villain.
Was it Starlight or Sunset?
Sunset.
It was Sunset. It was Sunset.
Starlight wasn't even a thing yet. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think they'll give her a fucking Easter egg spot in somewhere in somewhere in season 9?
I mean, that's why I continue to watch the EQG shit, is because, like, Sunset Shimmer is there. She's like she's the star of that whole series.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they do something with her. Maybe we'll see the Dazzling somewhere along the line. That'd be fucking.
I mean, yep, she's a QT. I don't know why you'd not use that design for anything productive.
Also, Speedy, no, she's not. She's not yours.
Sunset's mine. Lol.
I've called.
She
dibs
wouldn't date anybody here. Let's be real.
Okay.
I called dibs ever since the first
I don't know.
movie,
She did date
when
Flash
most people
Century, I'm
didn't
just
call
saying.
dibs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean,
respect another
Flash
guy's
is-
dibs.
I mean, she did date one Brad. There's no reason she won't go out with freaking Pasta here. Brett.
Actually, also, that's another thing. Thank you for bringing it up. So, my real life name is Brad.
Yeah.
Flash Century is often called Brad.
Yeah.
So I think, it gives me a little bit of credentials
the
there.
Chad Brad versus the Virgin Bernie. God damn it.
Good times. Oh god, love it.
Ugh.
Fucking beautiful.
And there's a contest over my wife who I always use that because you can't discredit my credentials.
You gotta check
my
his
real
stats,
name is
man.
Brad.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Fuck.
Whatever
Brad,
happened
not
to stick with
Brad.
Celestia.
So we'll be back here fucking in like 3 weeks when they finally do the zebra unicorn or zebra fucking nation. The zebra nation.
Are they going to do that? I don't know if they will.
I don't know. Freaking one big Jim, whatever his name is.
Hold on. What about zebras? What's going on?
No, the guy who's behind the show said that we're going to be tying up a lot of loose ends, and I was like, oh, so we're probably going to get a zebra nation. I'm guessing we'll probably get that in a throwaway episode.
Hotep Nation.
Yeah, we was zebras.
We was zebras. We was equestrians.
Yes.
Yo, we built your civilization. You was still living in caves, and we built Camelot, motherfucker.
I'm waiting for there to go there, so when we go back and look at Equestria's fine masonry and castles, that you'll see just a bunch of jungle huts out there.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
So, where would you guys rank this premiere with the other ones?
That was my favorite. Call me a dick. Maybe I'm just burnt out on watching all the old shit. Just seeing by virtue of being new, I really enjoyed the fuck out of it.
I mean, I skipped through it.
Yeah.
And Chrysalis was in it, so I'm obviously biased. So I can't really give you a proper score. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst premiere. I think that's a pretty high bar to be the worst premiere.
Well, what's your worst one?
This one is like, for as much as I dislike it, it's kind of middle of the road.
Well, which one's your worst?
The worst?
Yeah.
Good question.
Say season 1, piss everyone off.
No, it's not.
A lot of people don't like the fucking pilot, so to speak. So.
So I think it'd be a cross. I'm actually leaning towards. Jeez, it's like
you're not going to be quizzed on it. It's okay, Pasta. If you don't.
I'm not going to quiz you, dude.
It's like I'm like Morty here. Oh, jeez.
I need to go browse Reddit, Morty. Oh.
So it's either the season 6 premiere or the season 8 premiere. Probably the season 8 premiere. I don't like the season 6 premiere. At least has Sunburst and that whole bit with Sunburst and Starlight, which I like. Or see, the thing is, or maybe season 7. Like it's one of those 3.
But season 8's premiere was basically the zebra episode cut into 2. Don't trust minorities moving into your town.
Wait, which one was this? Link it to me, please.
Season 8's premiere, the one with the kids.
Yeah.
Did you not see the one teacher who hated all the goddamn outsiders? I was so disappointed.
No. That's the school one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I was hoping for that guy to become a real villain.
They triumphed over my racism, though.
But that was, of course, they had to. It was the premiere.
That's what I was complaining about. It was political.
Yeah, but I was expecting him to be a good villain, though. I wanted him to be fun, and they never did anything with him, so I was a bit bummed out.
Why do you think they made him unlikable? Because they don't want his points to leak out into the fucking minds.
But he didn't become the villain, though, Rocky. That's the problem.
Okay, so
yeah, they made him a throwaway character.
I think
just a straw man. Anyway, go on.
As weird as it may be for me to say this, I think that my least favorite season premiere is actually season 7's premiere. Okay. Because that premiere was so, like, it lied. It lied about season 6.
If you're talking about the first episode as well, nothing happened. It was just characters sat around talking about things that were happening or things that might happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like never mind.
Season 7 is my favorite season.
Form of filler.
Season 7 is still my favorite season, but that is by far my least favorite because, as you said, no one does anything. They just sit around talking, and again, they lied about season 6. Like, I almost think that season 7's premiere was designed so that they could be like patting themselves on the back for something they didn't even do. This episode is definitely like but see, the thing is, I traditionally don't like the premieres. So like most of them I don't like.
I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
I was just scrolling through because I'm like, premieres. What were they again? Yeah, as far as the premieres go, this is probably one of my favorite. Probably my second favorite, to be honest.
I still stick by Return of Harmony. Sorry, but
yeah, Return of Harmony is my favorite. This one is right behind it.
Let me give you context. Another reason why I love this one. I had to take a break from Windy City Con where I was watching idiots do like fucking whose line is it anyways.
And I saw a clip of that.
Yeah, when there's a difference between Saber, Spark, AC, Race Best, and Silver Quill, 3 fat assholes looking like dumpy dipshits on stage and watching MLP. Oh my god, did MLP look so much better? Oh, it was
as I said,
it was so
Bugman Hive.
It was like pure uncut 24 karat gold, with those 3 jerking each other off on stage.
The small-souled Bugmen.
Yes. Look, I'm going to do Pinkie Pie's voice. Oh god, just shoot me. And then Molly and Aria Diamond. Molly and Aria Diamond screeching in the front row. Oh, Senpai noticed me! Oh! Jesus.
I don't know. I thought Aria had that yellow fever, apparently.
Did she?
To answer the thought, though, season 3's premiere is actually my favorite. Crystal Empire.
Indeed.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Sombra didn't talk, though. As much as I like Sombra, he didn't really do anything.
He didn't need to.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I love him as a villain because, like, you see all the things that he did.
Well, you have to
understand.
Yeah, and like,
I get it. So you're trying to go for a Sauron type.
Oh no,
thing.
Rocky, you have to understand that black people can't really form complex sentences.
That's why their words are so short.
I just had to be a dick. Come on.
He's a Kang. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's true.
He is black. He's a Kang.
But also, like, that episode premiere, I felt like it was very much like, I don't feel like it tried very hard to talk about like a season-long arc. It was really focused on like this one place and the customs and the stuff of this one place, which I find, I like the Crystal Empire. It's weird looking. It's unique.
Something, okay, call this autistic, but it's always kind of bothered me that is the Crystal Empire part of Equestria, or is it like a separate political entity?
I've wondered that myself.
I would say it is, and
it is what?
It is part of Equestria, and I think
doesn't make any sense.
I know. See, they misused the phrase empire.
Yeah.
It's not an empire. It's more of like a city.
That's another one of the very contentious points.
That rustles me so much. God damn it!
Is it actually an empire or not?
It's not an empire. It's a fucking city-state.
Well, you have to understand that Midnightchimes is British, so it bothered the shit out of him. What is and what isn't.
Absolutely, yes. I am his genetic cousin, so it bothers me too.
Okay. No, I count it as an empire. I'm like, fuck it, they're gonna call it that. They made such a big deal about it appearing. I wouldn't care.
Don't.
Yeah, if a fucking town disappeared and it came back thousands later, I'm like, that's slightly less concerning than an entire fucking empire.
Yeah, but it's not an empire, it's a town, obviously.
Well, there's a castle in there.
So what?
Well, towns are smaller things if we're going
Look at ancient England, motherfucker. There were castles all over the place, and they essentially operated as separate entities from each other.
Yeah.
They weren't empires. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Ouch. Burn.
Okay.
But anyway, okay.
These nuts.
These nuts.
That's my comeback.
Now, here's an interesting question with this premiere.
Okay.
So, like, I already think that they're not really going to execute well on this premise.
Go ahead.
But how well are they going to execute it in comparison to, like, Season 8? Because Season 8 didn't really execute on its premise at all. Like, I think this season, it's a very low bar, but I'm pretty sure that they can do better than Season 8 in terms of, like, actually addressing this point.
They said that they were going to try and shove a bunch of toys in there, according to the people. So if I'm taking the show staff at their word, the writers or whatever, I think we're probably going to get some decent level execution. Of course, if I'm wrong, I could always just like turn it off. You know?
Yeah.
It takes. Well, I'd say it used to take a lot for me to not finish an episode, but I was like, yeah, it's usually my biggest mark. If I can't finish an episode, you get a 0. As far as I'm concerned, if I feel compelled to turn away, I'm like, I'm done.
Lamau, WTF is cyberbullying, nigga. Just close your eyes, close the screen.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
God.
I don't really see how they would kind of tie this premise into the rest of the season. I mean, like, what would happen?
I'm assuming. Do you think we'll get a whole episode where the villains learn the power of friendship or some shit like that? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't even know what
they systematically do that anyway. You know what's going to happen.
I was thinking there'd be episodes where they, like, I don't know, come into leadership roles, something like that.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a flashback episode.
Everyone gets reformed. Reforms for everyone.
That's kind of where I'm leaning. Where I think they're going to go with it.
Sombri's dead.
No, he's coming back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I said, Google Ganondorf. He's coming back.
I mean, because Groger's made an emphasis on they use the power of friendships, so should we. So, like, how do you think that's going to end? You know, like, you think they're going to get sent to the moon?
On the
moon. Jeez. Good stuff. What's your worst premiere event?
The worst premiere? See, I have such a hard time choosing. I guess it would be the Flurry Heart one.
The what?
The Flurry Heart one, I guess.
Yeah, that of the first one.
That's
a low-hanging fruit, my friend.
It's true.
It's a safe choice.
Yeah,
it is. It's my least favorite too. So.
If that's
because I didn't see the season 8 premiere, and I didn't see the season 7 premiere. So I know Pasta hates the season 8 premiere. No, yeah, I didn't see season 7 and 8, and I didn't like season 5's premiere when it came out, but I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago, and I've sort of warmed up to it. I'm like, all right, yeah, that was pretty good.
Season 5's premiere was great.
Yeah, it was pretty great. It was one of the better ones.
I didn't really like the tonal shift. Like, I didn't get it. I'm like, what? The tonal shift between, everything we know about MLP and all of a sudden there's this.
That was the Starlight episode, right?
Yeah.
It was when
so what are you talking
introduced.
about?
It's a totally different tone. How else? Do you not understand words?
Which episode is this again?
It's a different
tone. What are you talking about with tone,
Starlight Village.
Oh.
The Starlight Village episode? Yeah. I didn't get why they went like that, but I mean, whatever.
They wanted
as a
to fuck with Tumblr because it was topical.
Yeah,
I guess I like as an episode. I guess I was like, yeah, all right, sure.
How is it out of character? How is it a different tone?
Because
What are you talking about?
Because they were cultists. That's why.
So what? How is that out of line?
There were so many cool things. Like, I love when fucking goddamn Fluttershy's rocking along, and Pinky's like, "No,
yeah,
knock that shit off right now."
Like, this is the thing. There's a lot of debate, sort of, is it communism or not? People saying, "Oh no, it's not actually communism," and it's not like.
You always say that.
Hold it.
It's just a cut.
I can defeat that right now because I know Lily Pete's Antifa scum, and that's why she's fighting that it's not communism.
Exactly. It's hashtag not real communism. That's a meme.
The thing is, they weren't going for something like that. It's superficially communism. That's the joke, you know. It's making references to things like that. And,
right. It's an intentional.
It's not taking itself too seriously.
Yeah. It's like Nosball Gang. Exactly.
I love when people like just bring up that topic. It's like, oh my gosh, is MLP addressing communism?
It's transparently addressing communism. Let's be
yeah.
You can't sugarcoat it.
It's like addressing. Yeah.
If anything, well, okay, I'm going to go full, autistic here, but it's anarcho-syndicalism, if anything. But hey,
Ooh.
Nice. So, if they were to do a season 10, they should be anarcho-capitalists for the villains, right?
Yes, capitalists. I love it.
Don't break the NAP.
Who are they to restrict my marijuanas?
Yeah, that would be fucking that one horse. The fucking DWK uses the hippie bitch.
Absolutely. NAP freaks my pussy as much as my wallet.
You know what? That's what I could do. I could fucking grab that song and grab a bunch of MLP characters and fucking re-spool it that way. Yeah.
Oh, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
I'll encourage it.
Yeah. I might.
So-
I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I'll encourage it.
Yeah.
How hyped are you guys for the season?
I'm liking it so far. It's gonna die the minute I get to that next episode, and it sucks dick. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't have to continue. It has to be good. Like if you give me something I've been asking for all these years, and I don't know, you give me something about griffins, or you give me something about zebras and shit like that, or you give me a Patton Oswalt or something that's fun. I'm easy to make, but you give me some boring, stupid shit like here's Maud Pie clipping her hoof nails or whatever the fuck. I'm like, just kill yourself.
So
Literally, with how much they think Maud Pie is a fan favorite, they might act like that's something that I wish that was not a possibility.
I fucking hate Maud Pie. I'm kind of warmed up a little bit. That one spot where she fucking dunked on Discord was pretty funny, but
yeah.
I remember everybody was calling that a BTFO, and I'm just like, no, that's fucking gay. I'm sorry.
I love how
it's not fucking funny.
Pissed them off.
I love how after that whole bit, we then get seasons later this cringy as fuck opening with her doing a stand-up comedy routine.
I turned that was one of the ones I shut off. I think I lost interest in season 8. I think I literally just was like, nope, and I fucked off for like a while. Came back.
I know that when Maud was introduced in season 4, that they said that she did stand-up comedy, but I honestly don't think they would have done that shit had it not been for bronies eating her up.
Oh, the Rock Farm thing was one of those stupid things that they decided to continue with that too. Yeah.
Farming rocks,
The rock farm is
seeds.
Kind of a strange, quirky idea, to be honest. Yeah. I don't mind that.
I don't mind it either.
Well, I suppose if they mined for diamonds or gems, those are types of rocks, kind of, sorta. So.
No, but see that they farm rocks. They put in rock seeds and they farm.
Have they ever shown that?
I don't know, but
they show
what a farm
is. Rotate the rocks.
That's what a farm is.
Well, okay, maybe
they have to rotate the rocks and move them around and stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Midnight? What's your worst season premiere?
I would probably also go with season 7 because again, I've just there nothing happening with it, but there's probably not much to say about that I'd go season 7 is the one I wouldn't watch again at all, but season 8 is probably the one that annoys me more because it's set up all these kind of interesting things and then just kind of did a cop out of, oh no, this guy's a racist, so nothing he says matters anyway, he's just a racist.
Heretic.
Oh,
Like the resolution to that was just kind of too simple.
Mm-hmm.
Did I watch this? Was the season 7 premiere where Twilight started singing?
no,
I don't know.
I don't.
But
think
I saw
so.
the canary in the coal mine.
Okay, so then I
It's-
didn't see that.
yeah.
Okay.
Fuck that.
I'm trying to think of a fucking premiere where Twilight started singing.
Okay, yeah, no, I can't think of any.
Yeah, you completely fucking brained me there, Event.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. I haven't watched this show in so long. Everything
Me neither,
is
it's okay.
mushing together.
Yeah. Well, I did my job as a brony. I made two fuckers watch the show that didn't want to. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Discharged.
I'll watch the season 9 finale just to see how the show ends. See if I get some of my own predictions correct. But
Yeah.
I don't really care about the rest of the season. That's why I'm so excited for Gen 5 because I kind of want to see what they're gonna do.
Fuck that. I'm not watching that shit. Are you kidding?
Oh, I'm not watching.
I'm
that.
No way.
morbidly
I'm done.
curious.
Well, you're not watching Gen 5? Fuck, I'm
No.
going to. They're not getting they're getting different assholes to work on it, so that's what I'm interested in.
Apparently-
kinda- yeah.
Okay, hold on. Is this does this have any merit to it, or is it just a rumor?
So
is
from what
Applejack going
from what I literally heard from Big Jim, the guy who's like in charge of shit right now, he's like some of the people who worked on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is where I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Why the fuck not? That's
Okay, but see, the big question for me is: are they going to repeat character ideas like Twilight,
I don't know.
AJ?
You can only
Because
have
if
so
they
many
do-
ideas. Yeah, that's the problem.
You know what?
I
I'm,
hope
I'm
they
out.
take it
I'm
to
out.
an-
I-
I'm
to
going to
a
be
new guy.
completely honest with you. If you have nothing going on that day and it looks even the least bit interesting, you're going to peak. And if
Okay,
it sucks-
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
yeah, and you know what?
I'm
You sat
going
through
to-
shit episodes before Pasta. You'll at least make it
No,
to the end.
you're right.
Past
You're
it.
right. I'm not excited for it. I will
I am.
watch it.
I'm
but the
waiting.
odds of me actually liking it, very fucking.
Yeah, no, like here's, I'm done watching filler, so I'm like maybe it'll be like adventure like every episode, and I was like maybe I'll dig it.
I'm not done watching filler. That's why I probably won't like it.
I like filler. Fuck all of you.
Yeah. Fuck him. Filler's awesome. High five.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, then you should start watching Bleach.
Oh
Oh
God.
God, no.
I've never seen Bleach, but I've
Oh,
heard bad
don't.
things about it.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode, and after I'm like, this show is so fucking weeb.
Yeah. Well, it's about drug culture. It's literally don't restrict my marijuana.
Oh God.
Ay.
Pass.
yeah.
Puff puff pass. No thanks.
No shit.
What? What did I say something wrong?
No, that was me trying to say go watch Bleach if you want filler episodes because there's tons.
Yeah.
It's the
Anthony,
same-
is Gen 5 Applejack really black? Is that confirmed?
I think that was just Pete talking out their ass.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see a bone in her hair.
Oh my
I didn't see
I
her
didn't see
running
a
a-
Star of
I
David
didn't,
on
no,
the
no,
MLP
I didn't
logo.
see her
so.
running away from a job application.
Mhm.
I don't know nothing about
Ay,
reading. I mean, you know, if she acted like that, would you watch it, Rocky?
Maybe.
Have you ever hung
Maybe.
around the unicorn? They're nice people.
Yeah.
They just smell nicer.
They smell nice. I'm gonna rape their daughters later, but hey.
You know, there's no difference between, the different 2 Earth ponies and 2 quarters don't add up to $1.
She turns into an Uncle Ruckus. You see, the unicorn built Equestria.
Yeah, so basically fucking Phantom Horn. Yeah, I'd watch the fuck out of that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you're not even remotely curious about Gen 5, Rocky and Pasta?
No.
I'm down.
I mean, like,
Pasta seems a little bit, but I'm not.
I'm like curious about it, but I don't think it'll be good.
Twilight isn't even a unicorn. She's a fucking Earth pony. Which is weird that she has the same cutie mark. I'm like, okay, so I want to see what bullshit they're doing here. That's at least worth a look.
I mean, what I'm half expecting is for it to just be like, I mean, it is a reboot, but I'm half expecting for them to kind of just be very similar to Gen 4. But I'm curious as if they're going to do anything different. Because, like, I don't know what I would do different.
Well, they're
With-
ditching all the VAs, so you can't count on like Tara Strong or just.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh yeah, no. From what I heard, there's no Tara Strong.
Good
there's
fucking riddance to Tara Strong,
there's
but
no-
at the same time, I don't know.
Ashley Ball's gone. Fucking, you're. I'm assuming fucking, Discord's fucked off. So yeah, there's The only characters.
Kathleen, come back.
The only 6 characters are confirmed to the main 6.
You know what I
Kathleen
won't
come back,
miss?
please. No.
You know what I won't miss?
What?
I won't miss everyone stroking John Delancey's dick.
Either.
I kind of stopped. He was good in the premiere, and like before that, it's been.
Oh my
He's
God.
gonna be out of a job, man.
He'll find other shit, dude.
Like bronies go on and on. John Delancey, okay, he's a good voice actor. I didn't like his song.
I thought he was.
Oh, the glass of water song.
He was alright in Breaking Bad.
Dude, I was so annoyed. I was like, "Oh, can this end already? This is not
I know.
good."
I mean, it's not as bad as
Hold on. Speedy says, I mean, hell, Sombra's VA in the premiere was black. I could tell. I could just fucking tell by hearing
that was
his voice.
Flutterbutter's voice actor. He sounded like a fucking colossal douchebag.
Yeah, I could just tell. You can just hear like somebody's voice, even if they're not using like the ghetto accent. You can just tell they're black. You get an ear for that sort of thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like King Theo. King Theo is a good example.
Oh my!
I've heard a couple of people that shocked the shit out of me when I found out they were black. There's a couple people that
They're incognito.
Okay. Oh, so you have Black Dar. You absolutely do.
I guess I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna put this to the test down the line.
Sure.
There is a $5 prize if you could sneak by Rocky and you're black. First prone who gets it. It's one
Please,
time.
please.
Yeah. Gonna have to line up your skin, tuck in your lip, put away your fried chicken.
Oh God, Speedy says racist much. Oh, you have no idea, buddy.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, Speedy.
Speedy, yeah.
Speedy,
please.
sweetheart, you have a pony maker OC, yeah.
I don't want to corrupt you, my friend.
Yeah. Shit. Well, Rocky did fight a black guy in the ring. Okay.
Oh, he means yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, lol, Rocky, got it. That took me a minute.
Rocky thought Blake was black last night. That was before I heard him.
Yeah.
And because everybody was telling me that he was black.
Indeed.
So, shut up, Buttons.
Yeah. I mean, Rocky is Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are both Italian, yes.
We was Italian.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me permission to call him Italian Stallion. Got
I
it.
certainly did. And you're welcome to do it.
Yeah. Fucking beautiful. So
this is the I just have, if you're gonna wrap up, I have one last question.
Go ahead.
And so this is the first time I'm talking to like other human beings other than my wife in like the past year. So I don't like how does while we're on the topic of Gen 5 loosely, like how do you think that's affecting the fandom so far? Do you see more people disinterested or are they going to stick through?
Well, this is just from my perspective after being to a brony con. I noticed that bronies used to come in like all shapes, sizes, and colors. They're more and more they came in extra large. You know the stereotypical type. There were so many large neckbeards that it
Would you go as far as to call them corpulent?
Yes, I would. And I'll admit I'm no Tinkerbell myself, but I'm just like I remember when like the musicians used to be like your size. With all due respect to Event Horizon, they look like they knew what a vegetable and maybe not eating fucking deep fried lard for fucking dinner every goddamn day. The singer from Wonderbolts, holy shit, he looked like he swallowed his inner child. What the fuck? Get a salad, you fat fuck. Anyways, I know I'm one to talk, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're not one to talk. You had this harem of fat chicks the other day, so.
No. Arya and fucking Molly are skinny. The one with them, not so much.
I was looking in the camera and I just saw like full-on BBWs, just a bunch of them just on the bed.
No, Molly's fucking anorexic as shit. No. Fucking.
Well, there were some fat bitches there. I don't know who they were, but they were there.
That was a fat bitch that was big enough to be multiple. That was punchy. Yeah.
Okay.
She was a big girl.
For you.
Holy shit. Pot calling the kettle black. There we go. Buttons. Nicely done. Kick a man when he's down. You really are limbo people. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. But I have a head theory about that. I think that fucking for the fandom to recover, I think it has to kind of wipe the slate. It needs new people. It needs like fucking inspiring blood at the top.
Purge the fatties.
Not even that. I just think that fucking goddamn, there's certain people who've gotten too comfortable, doing the same dumb, stupid shit over and over again.
KP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. There's something there's gonna have to be some hook in this show that inspires people to throw their lives away for credit or that's the thing I'll give Brony. I think people were willing to put so much love, time, and effort into their content, far exceeded that any other fandom had seen before, like the animations and shit, that just gave people the need to want to be there, which just isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. Because they realized they couldn't build anything with it. And even if the show is fucking, like, just, it's got to be more than just beautiful and shit. It's got to really inspire and make people want to fucking make its own little escapism culture, and I guess I haven't seen it yet. I suppose it's possible.
Gotta have soul.
Yeah.
That's why that was the entire point of the Brony fandom. It had soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd have to kind of almost come in underneath the radar, which would be impossible.
I've met a lot of people who I think are excited for season 5, Gen 5. Like, yeah, a handful.
I you know what, if I hadn't seen the premiere and I wasn't so happy with it, check me out again in a week, where I'll be like, yeah,
I will.
Yeah, oh yeah, when the next fucking episode comes out, yeah, I'll probably be, oh yeah, no, I'm back ready for fucking it to end. But
I'm ready for it to end right now.
Yeah, I kind of was.
If we have to build a new power structure, sure, I volunteer to be the Fifth Reich's Adolf Hitler. Sure, volunteer me.
Yeah, I heard that there's going to be different worlds that the ponies came from or some shit like that. It's like, oh, so it's going to be really mystical mumbo jumbo. Okay, I'm.
It's going to be complicated.
Because
they're
I'm
pulling a Marvel. God damn.
Go ahead.
What I'm suspecting is that how Hasbro doesn't really like bronies. Like, they don't really like older audiences being interested in this show. So what I'm half worried about is that they're going to make Generation 5 like very, very mediocre for the purposes of only keeping the kids and their parents in it. And yeah, I don't really want that. I'm afraid that Hasbro's
are you scared
to intentionally make it terrible.
Are we going to get Ponies Go, basically? Is that what you're asking? No, I don't think so.
I don't want.
Where did you hear this, though? That's my question.
I don't think so.
Hear what?
That they want to alienate bronies. Do you have any idea how much money that would cost them?
Yeah, Event. If I thought for a second that, or if I thought that you had money, I would bet you. I would be like, here's my $20. I'll owe you 2-to-1, so you get paid 40. If I thought that you might have a chance that you'd have $20, I'd take that bet. But no, I don't think that they're purposely going to do. I've heard quite the opposite, that they're courting bronies, which I don't think is good. I think it's going to have the same problem like that one Thundercats, that the most recent one, the one that fucking had one season and fucked off.
I mean, if it's like Teen Titans or whatever the fuck, then it might work. But
you want to know what I wish they don't do with Gen 5?
What?
I actually want them to try to just make a show that's appealed to parents and their kids, because I think that it would actually be more mature. One thing that's happened with the show, I think, since Bronies kind of became a big thing with it, is they put a lot of meme-y shit in there. And I'm kind of sick of it.
But it's always been there,
I know
though.
what you mean.
I think it first started, like, the point where I would say the meme shit kind of started.
Who's got the map?
No, I was gonna say Three's a Crowd. They made an episode that was generally only because they wanted to make a Discord song. That's the only reason they made that fucking episode.
Yeah, I was kind of bored by it.
And then they did Slice of Life, which was even more meme shit. And fast forward.
They can have one episode that's just dedicated to that.
How is
and then
the map,
fast forward to season 7.
Hold on. Who's Got the Map isn't fucking meme shit from Pinky Apple Pie.
No. Who's Got the Map isn't meme shit. But you want to know another thing that's pretty meme shit?
What?
When it was in Honest Apple, there was a bit where, like, Rarity was upset, and then she took the acoustic guitar and she did, like, an electric riff on it. And like, with the background and everything, that would not have happened if it weren't for Bronies. Like, that is the meme shit I'm talking about.
Are you sure?
And all this
I'm not sure.
I mean, taking an acoustic guitar and adding an electric riff, I don't know if that's. I just don't see the connection, man. I just don't get it.
I'm just saying that, like, I feel like after the Brony, like,
they've had oodles of fan pandering. I've seen Voice of Reason's fucking videos for fucking ever.
No, but see, that's the thing. Like, it's become more memey. Like, just there's more internet shit in the show than when it was like. If you go back to season 1 or season 2, there's not much of that, and I kind of like.
Season 1, of course, had a lot of slapstick in it, and in a way, sort of. The stuff like the electric guitar thing would have fitted in that sense, but they probably wouldn't have done it quite like that. As the meminess of it.
Alright, so you're not saying that fucking the tree isn't a meme thing?
What?
I wish I was a tree. That was meme shit.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. that was
I
totally
don't
know.
No.
See, here's the thing.
Things like that, the fandom took that and made it into a meme.
There's a difference between a joke. There's a difference between a joke starter and a joke follower, and I think that season 1 was more joke starter than like just when I say meme shit, I mean doing something that's very influenced by the internet, knowing full well it's funny by virtue of the internet existing. So like. Go back to early SpongeBob episodes, like Chocolate with Nuts. That episode has created thousands of memes.
The one where he's screaming about chocolate. I've never seen the episode.
Chocolate?
I've heard the meme. I've heard the meme, and I've seen it for Death Note, and it's fucking amazing there.
Yeah, no. See, that's the thing. SpongeBob, the early seasons of SpongeBob were joke starters. They were meme starters.
I remember when they first invented chocolate. I always hated it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the type of stuff I liked when MLP, when they, I wish I was a tree. That's something that I honestly think that one of the writers came up with because they thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But
whereas these days it's more, you can imagine the writers saying, "Oh, we're going to write this with the idea it's going to become a meme."
We don't.
Yes, exactly.
We don't
exactly.
We don't have fucking the writers we used to. Larson's gone. Fucking what's the? I'm trying to remember the bitch that went off to Disney and they completely squandered her. Fucking hell. I know she was there for like season 5 last.
Amy Keating Rogers?
Yeah.
Maybe?
God damn, I missed Amy Keating Rogers.
Holy she had a solid lineup in season 4.
That maybe like 1 or 2 gutter balls. I think her last one with fucking Countess Clitora was like, yeah, but mostly, found her indispensable. Was pissed off when she left. And the one who did Pinky Apple Pie, I wish I could remember her pain in the ass name, but I remember her leaving. That sucked.
Well, no, I think I thought Amy Keating Rogers. No, you're probably right.
Yeah, but, I remember Jesse Wood making a big joke about the pain in the ass name, but it was they were really good. They did some good stuff.
Meriwether Williams?
No, hell no. They sadly enough they did the breezy first episode, which maybe that's not a good citation for that. You know what? Fuck
Here's the good thing. Larson, you were talking about Larson a second ago. He went off with one of his best episodes. I think it is like one of the best episodes. Fame and Misfortune. I fucking love that episode.
Which one's that one about?
It's one that shits on bronies.
The one where fucking goddamn... Is that the one where they go back in the castle and give up?
No, that's the one where they give out their old journal.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what? I watched that episode and I was like, they could have ended the episode. This would have been the perfect final.
I know, right?
I would have been totally happy had that been the final. I was like, this is so good. Yeah, no, I like when they kind of shit on, like fucking Daring Don't did that, where they basically shit on the audience, and I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. I can dig it.
Well, I like it because nowadays, like, it's so much of this fucking pander shit. I like to, like, no, bronies are shit. We're shit. Don't tell me I'm good. Give me.
It wasn't always that way, man. It didn't always used to suck.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. Season 4 kind of soured me.
But season 4 was incredible. What are you on about?
What I mean is,
it was very good.
Season 4, the show was great. Season 4, the brony community soured me.
I think you're getting that mixed up with the analysis community and the brony community. You're a bit different there, my friend.
Okay,
Well,
probably I am.
But in their own separate ways.
Yeah, I was about to say I could. Yeah, I've had to explain that to a couple different people, like Leo, and I was like, yeah, don't put the sins of the analysis community on the rest of the shit. The animators kind of gave out like 5 or 6 where they kind of fucked off to the ether. Nobody will touch the shit anymore. Who's the guy who did Suction Cup Man? He never finished off his Elements of Cringe shit that was pretty goddamn comedy gold. The fucking duo cartoonist fucked off, I think, like season 6.
It's not entirely like that, because I distinctly remember musicians, remember Alex S?
Yeah.
So I remember when Alex S announced, it was probably season 3 or going season 4, that he announced that he was done with, doing pony stuff.
Yeah.
And he got a ton of backlash for it.
Because he's an opportunistic little...
No, but see, that's
it's
the
like,
thing.
oh, hey, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon. I'm going to make music, shitty fucking dubstep music for him for a little bit. Oh, now that it's starting to die out, okay, yeah.
No, but
back to anime.
Hey,
no,
look,
but see,
Event Horizon's
the thing is,
right
I
over
don't
there.
Fuck
really
Alex S.
No. Like, I was more pissed off with the bronies in that situation. Because what, is he supposed to do brony shit forever?
No. I'm happy when somebody leaves the fandom, and if
You're supposed to stay loyal to your base.
Look, if Digi hadn't made such a colossal ass out of himself fucking pimping Lolicon, I probably would have never fucking goddamn... Well, okay, there's a couple other dumb things he's done. But for the most part,
No.
I try and encourage people to go off and be successful. I'd
No,
like to see...
you can throw your old, you can throw your traditional fan base a bone and say, like, hey, I still recognize you, I still care about you. But no, like, these faggots, like Alex S, Tombstone, all these people, they're all just
Radix
no, fuck
off. I was fine with him doing that, and he
That's
shits on
true.
his...
I'm okay with it too. He's a faggot. But
Yeah, I do agree with that sentiment where people kind of act like they were never bronies to begin with. It's
Yeah.
like, why?
Okay.
Like,
it's so fake.
So you're telling me that Saber Spark's one of the legit ones just by virtue of fucking... Yeah?
No, I agree. I agree that
justify Saber Spark.
I agree
You
that
kinda do there.
trying to deny that you were a brony, that's pretty fucking awful. But I'm more annoyed with bronies that feel like these creators are somehow like they're entitled to these creators continuing to create brony shit.
I've never felt that way. It hurts.
I don't
to
feel
see
that
him
way
go.
either.
Yeah.
I don't feel like forcing them to keep creating pony content.
Yeah,
But it's,
yeah,
that's what
it's
happened
okay.
with Alex
Okay,
S.
hold on. Do you know the story of Baked Alaska?
No.
Yes. Go ahead. Take it away.
All right. Well, Baked Alaska, he suddenly he used to be kind of a right-wing figure. Like, he used to attract right-wing audiences because he would say, like, right-wing things. And then on his own show, eventually, he kind of went more centrist, more liberal, and he started to call his former audience, he started to call them toxic. He started to alienate them and say, you're not welcome here. And that pissed a lot of people off. And I think that was the main contributor to the fall of his career, because he gave his old audience the finger. He could have just stayed there. He didn't have to say the stuff he said before, but at the very least, he owes those fans to not counter signal them. He owes it to them
true.
to not tell them to fuck off.
Well, I'm not one of the people who likes to shit on...
Alex S.
Yeah, I don't fucking shit on my fucking fans. I'm not Ryan, for Christ's sake.
But that's not what happened with Alex S. What happened with Alex S. was that he started to shit on his fans after they gave him tons of shit for leaving.
Vocal minority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his fault for fucking letting that happen, man.
Did he announce it, though?
Yeah,
Did he announce it?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, if you said, I'm no longer doing pony shit, then you're being dramatic and you're just
Okay,
going to fight drama.
He
You
said,
reap
I'm
the
no longer...
seeds you sow.
I'm not... He didn't actually say shit. I'm sorry. I'm using slang.
Okay, never mind.
He said, I'm not going to do pony videos, pony music anymore. I'm moving on, and he got a lot of backlash for it.
Probably because he used the term "moving on,"
Yeah,
in like fuck you niggas. Like, I'm going to better.
Yeah.
I'm going where the money is.
know.
Fuck you people.
Eh.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't know if that's something you really need to announce. You just kind of
I agree.
Well,
I do.
Anthony
I think
C.
it's just
Anthony City says he's not even watching the show anymore. Where he's like, oh yeah, I finally. I celebrated him when he finally did his. Again, I'm not a Sonic fan at all, but I was glad to see. I was like, oh cool, you branched out, which I always thought. I thought that was the game plan. I assumed everybody was just gonna eventually. Oh, all these analysts are just gonna start reviewing movies and stuff, and the fact that so few of them even tried.
I mean,
Anthony C. Oh yeah, I guess I haven't seen much of Anthony C. in a long time.
It took him 3 years, and I know because I asked him when I had him on.
I think Anthony C. is a fucking tool. I think he's a fucking douchebag, so I can't really comment on that.
I think you're saying that to be a dick. Why? I want to hear this.
Does it matter?
Sure.
Nah, let's talk about something else.
No. Why?
No, this isn't about me. This is about content creators.
I want to know why. I just want to know.
This isn't the Rocky cast.
Oh, sure it is. Now we're way into overtime, so fuck it. It can absolutely.
Well, I'm not answering, so fuck you.
Oh, okay. So got it. You have no spine. Perfect.
Okay, so
it's
let me
get this straight. It's not like a no balls thing. It's just like it's irrelevant.
Good for him. Good for him. Good for Anthony C.
I could tell you why I think Silverquill's a piece of shit.
Why is he Silverquill?
You can derail this all you want,
okay,
please.
Yeah, sure. I'll prove this is how this is done. First things first, he ripped off Oki for $400+. He didn't give
who's
him
OP?
anything. Okizuma.
Who's OP?
Okizuma was this fucking patron of mine, and he gave us obscene amounts of money to do obscenely easy things.
Okay.
He gave me and V $250 to watch Schindler's List separately. He gave fucking, I think, Kichi $50 to watch The Hateful Eight. He used to patron me like $50 a fucking video and shit. Very, very fucking kind. He did it for fucking 3 months. He gave Silverquill money to get some sketches for an OC. Never got shit. Never got a fucking thing. And on top of that, the other thing that bugged me about Silverquill is that when he helped to contribute to make a statement about Toon Critic, it was supposed to go up on Dr. Wolf's channel. Dr. Wolf got a hold of it. Jesus stood up and did everything about forgiveness, and then Silverquill washed his hands of the whole thing, as opposed to doing the responsible thing and rewriting it and putting it up on his channel.
Huh.
That's kind of shitty.
I can understand.
And he was
that.
also one of the people when fucking, Kichi and those guys went to go talk to people. They're like, no, don't put it out in public. That's a bad idea. They were about ready to, and him and other people.
Bad optics score.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
I can see the argument for not putting it out in public, though, because because it was put out into the public, he was able to get rid of all the evidence.
He knew. Yeah. And what did he get rid of? What are you talking about?
Weren't there Skype call things that
text? There was text.
Yeah,
that's about. Yeah. That's still out there. That's still floating around. You can get full logs of that shit. I don't know what you're talking about. That was already fucking backlogged. They had that shit when they went to him. They literally have his audio confession in the confession video. That's why it's called the confession video. They didn't want to cause a panic, and instead, basically, when the fucking story dropped, it became, there were certain people who didn't want it out there. I know I wasn't told about it because I have a big mouth, and I would have told everybody instantly.
I think the first person I heard about it from was what was his Vita.
Yeah. And
he was the first one to break it.
My whole story was congratulations because you didn't tell me. I would have played ball with you guys if you would have fucking told me. You'd have been like, okay, you could say this, and this. And I was like, all right, I'll work with you to a degree. But the story is coming out. There's little things that if you need something clipped. One, we're telling everybody he's a pedophile. That's non-negotiable. You're gonna tell me how long you knew about it. We can withhold the person's name, which unfortunately got rushed out, and no one's really. I got to give the fandom that. The fandom didn't harass the victim, to the best of my knowledge. So don't say the fandom's full of shit. They were very fucking responsible about that, and there were certainly ways to find the name. I think they changed it, which is good. They just they ditched their fandom name, which was well enough. It was a common enough one too, so. But yeah, I feel like he could have fucking done more, and he just. No, I'm just gonna. And he got away with it too. He just basically shut up about it, and it pisses me off. But yeah, Why don't you like Anthony C. there, Rocky? I think you don't like him because people like him. I think that's exactly what it is. Fucking Anthony C. came on.
A lot of people, Anthony.
No,
people like you.
No, let's put it this way. He came on and fucking goddamn had it out with me in an Event Horizon here. And he didn't have to. He went on to out here to defend KP of all people. Probably the least KP friendly plays he could have ever done. It was fucking straight up fucking move. My respect, Anthony. He didn't come back after that, but hey, it was a hell of a farewell.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and he was a boss on that fucking show. Even
Anthony C. fucking debate me, faggot.
About what?
I don't know. What is white?
Oh God. Jeez.
Debate me about the white ethno-state, Anthony.
He came on and debated about copyright and shit like that.
Oh my God.
It was funny how he's like, "Oh no, just take the chance." I'm like, I don't know about all that.
We'll debate copyright, sure.
Yeah. He's more in people taking the chances and fucking risking lawsuits and shit like that. And I was like, that's awfully brave for a guy off in Australia who doesn't have to worry about fucking people really.
So brave.
Yeah, I know. But no.
Remember, lads, subscribe to PewDiePie.
Whatever. How about you, Pasta, since we're out here kicking people? Is there anyone specifically in the fandom right now that you terribly dislike?
You're a saint, you know that?
Yeah.
He's thinking. What won't
like
me over?
Yeah.
There are people who I don't like their content, but and who I haven't watched any of their stuff in literally years, but I don't really interact with many people in the fandom.
Okay.
So no.
Okay. All right, Horizon. Go. Who do you
Okay,
like?
okay. If I'm going to be honest, like it's been a long time.
Okay.
I've been out of the game a very long time. I'm just starting to come back. So like I haven't really held on to anything.
Okay.
I'm kind of, starting fresh. Trying to behave. And this stream has not been a very good lead with that so far. So now, as soon as I get off stream, I'm gonna have to take a long look in the mirror, maybe write down some notes. But yeah. For right now, I'm at a freaking fresh, clean slate. I don't have any grudges so far.
Okay. Midnight.
That's gonna be my official statement.
Anybody on your side, Midnight?
I mean, if you'd asked me maybe a few months back, I might have said Lightning Bliss, but since she's been sort of sharing more stuff to do with Toon Critic and regarding safety in the community and things like that, I've gained a little more respect for her.
Yeah,
okay, so she's a likable fat bitch.
Oh, actually,
even Josh started fucking sharing information about stuff like that. So yeah.
Now that you mention it,
go ahead
with Lightning Bliss.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really like Lightning Bliss that much.
Was this anything to do with Kichi?
Oh, I didn't.
Was this anything to do with the Kichi situation you had there?
Yes, it has everything.
She's a fat, cringy bitch. We know.
Okay, well, thoughts and opinions are Rocky. Don't reflect on me.
Okay, so here's a fun little bit of history for people still watching.
Okay.
Anthony, long time ago.
Yep, I own this. Should I tell the story? Go ahead.
Do you want to tell it?
Oh,
you
yeah, no.
So
So a while ago,
yeah.
Fucking Pasta was over dicking with the Secret Rift about something.
It's just like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago, and I kept trying to fucking polish things up so I could be cool with Pasta, and Pasta kept like poking the fucking whatever metaphor you want.
Yeah.
You're fucking around and you're arguing about a geeky thing and you're arguing about the Secret Rift, and eventually he winds up calling Kichi a cunt. I believe I think I just broke up with Kichi at the time, but we're still cool. And I'm like, hey, so I go to talk to Pasta. Instead of just flying off the handle, I try and be legit. I try to give Pasta the proper due respect. I'm not treating him like Mad Plushie. I'm like, look, Pasta, I don't want any heat with this. Well, it's not about us. And I'm like, yeah, this kind of ain't cool. This is, but we I think we winded up leaving that conversation cool enough, and I think like either you called her a cunt again or you find it like things escalated, and I think as I was trying to be reasonable with you, it's funny to watch you mad right now, Anthony. And me being a cunt, took the screen capped the conversation and whoops, I accidentally copy pasted this to one of Toon Critics chats, which has all of Pasta's old friends in it. Well, gee, oh heavens to Betsy, I don't know how that got in there. I know Key and Lightning and Goldie looked up and yeah, Pasta's friendship over there, which had already kind of they did been inert. And I know Pasta's kind of comes from the same branch of school that I don't have to like keep up constantly with people because I'm used to having that, or I had that friendship with like Digi. We're like, yeah, no, you talk to these people once in a blue moon and you assume everything's okay.
Yeah.
they saw, hey, oh, what do you think you're calling this person a cunt? And they turned on Pasta really fast. And
was Kichi being a cunt though? Okay. That's what I want to know.
I think she was. And and granted, like, probably I shouldn't have said she was a cunt because, like,
I disagree. If she was being a cunt, call her a cunt. But
maybe
regardless,
I go back and forth on it. I should have known that Anthony would have played that card.
You were taunting me. No. You were really don't you act innocent, motherfucker. You came up after I gave you the proper.
You were trying to make me take it back, and I was not taking it back.
I was nicely trying to take it back. I didn't strong arm you. I didn't say take it back or else. I was like, I was trying to.
When you put me in that chat, he
was implying an or else.
No,
okay? There's a difference, man.
No. See, here's the thing. When you put me in that call, in that chat, I knew what you were doing. You were trying to use social peer pressure to make me take back the line.
You started giggling and laughing at me. Oh, Anthony, it sure is fun. You were doing Looney, which pissed the shit. You were doing Looney on steroids.
I was, but like, okay, let me explain what she did that earned me calling her a cunt.
Okay.
So, the Secret Rift did a video a long time ago on like what it takes to get into the Secret Rift.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they said in there was a reference to a parody video.
Yeah.
On that was made by Geeky Steven.
Yes.
And everything in that was like jokey. It was like meant to poke fun. And so a friend of mine asked in the comments, well, what exactly did you mean by that? Because that was a parody video.
What did he mean by this?
Yeah, like, what do you mean by go off of this for advice? Because you don't actually...
We were being a little bit
no, Anthony, let me finish. Okay, I'll let you speak.
No, go ahead.
And so like, are you telling them to take parody advice? And her response was, move along, troll.
Get laid incel.
You were certainly hanging out with that crew at that time, Pasta, and you were relishing in it. So I feel that the guess there wasn't out of line. You were hanging out with Sheldon and his boys, and you were like really enjoying yourself. So if they called you just a troll, I wasn't dismissing you like that. I didn't disagree with her statement, but I wasn't going to say that to you. I was like, yeah.
She thought I was trolling? Of course she did.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, Pasta. I feel that you have insights to give, which is why you're here today, which is why I've liked to keep the door open to past analysis. You're fucking a legacy. And, whether I agree with you or not, necessarily, but I like having the door open so I can get these little fucking chats and powwows and shit.
Yeah.
Kichi, less so. Kichi...
But see, yeah. That's why look, like, I was mean about it, but I thought that she was being really out of hand because she was like not giving any benefit of the doubt. Like, you don't just randomly call people who are asking legitimate questions trolls. That's
yeah.
I think there's a big difference between calling someone a troll and calling someone a cunt. Because I think you could get away with calling virtually anybody in the fandom a troll without things escalating, where if you call the wrong person a cunt, someone else might beat the shit out of you, depending on the where.
I don't know. For me, calling a person who is asking a genuine question.
I'll give you a bad example here. I said if you walked up to a Wilsonator's wife and called her a cunt, and this is why this is a bad example. Because I don't think Will would do anything.
There are some people
it's just independent journalism, Goy. Okay, yeah. I'm just asking questions.
There are some people who have earned awful nicknames and titles and shit, and then there are people who are simply asking questions and getting like that's what's wrong in that situation. One, I think, is more merited than the other. Calling a random questioner a troll is less merited than calling someone who is acting awful. You
got hit by guilt
bitch.
by association, and then your fifis got really pissed off. Which I won't even say. Fine, I'm not even going to argue whether you were right or wrong. But I was bending over backwards not to hurt your fifis, and then you went out of your way to fucking stomp on. You gave me a kick there, and I fired back. Now you could say you escalated things to him. You shouldn't have poked me. You shouldn't have fucking needled me like you did. And I was like,
I should not have poked you. That's true.
I felt like you fucking went a little too far there. We're like, I'm enjoying that you're this upset right now.
But here's the thing that you have to also remember.
Let's put it this way. Look at the bright side, because you weren't anything to do with Toon after that. That really served you well in the long run, don't you? When you agree,
it did serve me well in the long run. But here's the thing that you have to remember, and I'm now remembering it.
Yeah.
Back then, I had a beef with you because you were giving me tons of shit for not making any videos.
I put out 2 of the 3 podcasts that we did when you started making stuff again. I fell behind on the 3rd one, but I was promoting you. Those did do pretty good. It's why I probably should have put out the 3rd one, but you know what? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I might get around to doing that last one if I could find it. Yeah, I pushed your shit, man. I was wondering if that's why you went into Barrel, but I was pushing you.
I know it comes from a good place, but
wait,
there are times when it can
Barrel?
Yeah.
What?
At least he was for a while.
I was. Yeah, I think I still am.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, I understand it comes from a great, like a nice place.
Yeah.
But, dude, when you don't want to make fucking content, you don't make fucking content. Yeah. Like, the last thing I want to get is pressure to make something I don't want to make.
Well, I'll put it this way. I like Event Horizon enough not to nag him like I do you. And you know what? He doesn't do anything. So, I mean, shit, man.
It's going to change, okay? It's changing.
I've seen other people.
I don't care, Event. God.
Yeah, who was it? Freaking either Darkus or one of those Rice-A-Roni jabronis who was trying to push you into making stuff. I was like, look, other people have tried. If I thought giving Event Horizon $20 or kissing his ass would get off his butt and go do stuff, it would. I don't know. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. I love you either way. Cool guy.
Pasta, you're fine. Event Horizon, fuck you.
I'm flattered.
Yeah. God. Fucking base.
Rocky, are you still mad about that conversation we had in Limbo?
We had a conversation.
Okay, I guess not. That answers my question.
Yeah, nice.
I don't mean this like in a condescending way, but like
the last time I really remember something from Event Horizon from Limbo is I remember him saying something really ignorant about I know is that this guy is so beneath my time. I was like, oh jeez. And it's not like that was an unpopular opinion.
I mean, I don't know who I know is either. So
who's I know again?
Postscript I know Haisenshi. The one blue.
Oh, the
one I kept getting. I
remember him.
The fan artwork, Golden Fox and shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I kept trying to push him to the fucking stars to make content, and I even got other mods in the Rift. Yeah, your stuff was good when you did it.
Oh, that was the good old days, man.
Oh yeah, they were. Well, when the worst thing in the fandom that was pissing off Event Horizon was I know. Oh, those were the days.
We had such a celebration when he finally got kicked out. Oh man.
Oh man. That actually reminds me. There used to be a guy named I don't know if any of you remember him. He went by the online name Private. He had like a brown OC. He was in the Rift Cafe, and I actually caused him to leave because he got so pissed off with me once.
I thought you were going to say Devorer for a minute, but no, I don't think I remember Private.
No, me and Devorer are still good. One person that I've traditionally not gone along with very well is Magna Common. Me and him don't really...
What about ASAP El Moist Tyrone?
Oh, right, so I have a fun story about that. And I like Common, but originally when I tried starting my own like analysis room when Looney kicked me out or whatever, I tried fucking making my own thing, which failed horribly. 2 motherfuckers wouldn't leave me alone to get in there. Manga, Common, and British Ninja. And I know Common did it like once or twice, but Ninja like latched on. Pardon, sir. Could I be in your analysis? Who the fuck is? Let me look at this god awful channel. His old OC artwork. I just took one look at that. I'm not even watching this video. Kiss my ass. I finally took a good hard look at it. I'm like, it could be better. And then we fucking hit it off for a while. And I told you how I broke ties with him, right?
No.
Okay, so when he finally got into like Toon Critics Inner Circle, he stopped coming around Limbo like more and more and more.
Oh Lord.
So yeah, fucking I'm like, okay, that's how it is. That's how it is. But finally, when fucking Toon Critic gets ousted, he's like, I'm ready to come back now, guys. Get the fuck out of my room. No, can I come back to brag? No. And I threw him the fuck out.
Wow.
I don't want to hear it. You're not on my channel. Kiss my ass. I had a hate boner for about a month or two. I tried being cool with him, I think a couple months back. So far as I remember, the elf's like, oh, I have this one transgender friend. I was like, oh, we could try and hook him up with Ninja as a joke. And then Ninja must have either known it was coming. He's like, no, I've moved on. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever.
You want to know what the last interaction I had with Toon Critic was?
What?
It was a while back. So this is like the last interaction I had with him was this fucking awkward as shit handshake in 2015 BronyCon. So this is well before any of the news came out.
Oh yeah.
And like me and him were like we had long since distanced ourselves from each other. Like we just like.
So this was still the same year that Digi was still there, right?
Yeah, that was the year Digi was there.
Yeah.
And I think that like after I stopped making content, that's sort of around the time that Toon Critic stopped, wanting me around.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we just kind of like he dropped me from my contacts and shit like that, and so it was a really awkward handshake.
Yeah. Yeah. He was pretty cutthroat. Look, Pasta, I've always hoped for you to be successful. I know there was one year where you took a year off from college. I don't even know if you went back or not.
College is gay anyway.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I hope for the best. It's as much as I might kind of giggle at Cider not getting whatever the fuck he does. I'm hoping he gets it one day. I prefer that people fucking come out ahead. If I didn't have to worry about V becoming a police officer and shooting someone, I'd hope for the best for him too. But considering that job position would probably endanger people, less so.
Wow.
Much less so. But oh well. But yeah, I'm glad. I hope things are going good. I hope you're motivated towards whatever fucking path you're doing, Pasta.
I am.
Every once in a while, if I could pick your brain for these bullshit videos, fucking great.
Not a problem. Remember that one? Speaking of really old crap, remember that one guy, Theory Brony, who was like a flash of like popularity for, I don't know. Like he only made two videos that were good. Like that got people watching him.
I liked his stuff, but then he fucking me and Sheldon. I think that's the first Brony drama we got into it with, where fucking I remember it was me, Leaky, and Sheldon, and we still have like one of them like privated or whatever, where I was in my car working at my old job, being a security guard, and fucking I was like, I got this idea where I basically made this video where I flashed a bunch of money. I was like, we'll get him in the call. We'll pretend to buy him out. We'll get him a call. We'll interact with people. Back when we couldn't talk to anybody. This is what we had to get to. And, while I'm out checking in trucks, Sheldon's like, my friend is prepared to give you $5,000 to help you out of your situation. And that's on tape, and you could hear Theory Brony's voice just... Like, he was so happy. I was so pissed. I was like, I thought you were going to say like $20-$30. Oh, I could maybe meet that or $5,000. And he went on to fucking fleece, I think, like 2 other things with like 5K. He did that to Jesse Wood, when Sheldon had like Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he donated $5,000 on some card that retracted it to Jesse Wood's fucking Patreon account. That's how fucking the PFC got him on for a podcast. Yeah. Theory Brony had a flash in the can for like the anime fucking fandom. He had some channel called Shut Up Adachi, and he did what he did in the Brony fandom. He'd hit 1 or 2 things, and he'd just sit on his ass and didn't want to do anything. He was the Spoonie 1 experience for like anime and Brony. He was defeated by success every time he found it. Just I just want people to give me shit. I went back and donated him $40 because I felt bad for inconveniencing him that one time. And I was like, here you go, and then he just unfriended me right after. I was like, okay, well, fuck you too, fucking prick. No, I didn't. Fuck him.
No, I mean, ouch that he did that to you. That's...
No, look, I guess I had it coming. It's fine. I thought he was cool. I was prepared to talk with him. I remember when we momentarily brought him into the Rift, and the only person who fucking voted against him was Red Cord. When fucking Looney's like, so should we bring him in for that? He's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, Red Cord, no. Well, why not, Red? I just don't want him in. Well, why? I just don't.
She reminds me of ASAP Elmoy's Taiwan.
God. You have no idea how pissed off I was at the modding staff. We're like, oh no, we're not going to correct Red Cord. Why? It's obnoxious as hell. He fucking walks over everybody.
Which riff was that?
That was Looney's. That was Looney. I'm sure he did it in a males, but you know.
Oh.
All hell could break loose. You could drop a nuke on shit and not get thrown out of a male's fucking rift.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I thought past analysis was the biggest fucking deal. I'll sell out all my friends. Just talk to me a little bit, Pasta, please. And then you'd point it out, like you're like you'd treat me like I was so beneath you. You just doing this so I'll talk to you. I'm like, yeah, be flattered, faggot. Jesus. Holy fuck. You cunt.
Wait, what did I say to you?
We talk, and the only time I could get to talk to you is when I'd sell out V or fucking Sheldon or one of them, and you're only telling me this so you'll talk to me. I'm like, yeah, be flattered, you prick. These are my friends. You call me a treacherous asshole.
Oh my.
Oh,
I completely forgot about that.
Bitch.
Yeah, no, I remember all those dumb-ass conversations we used to have back in the day. I remember when fucking Looney pretended that he was taping a call where you were bad-mouthing, I think, Red Cord or something. And you started, like, you were on the verge of breaking down and crying. No, Looney, don't put that out.
Wait.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were kind of, like, making fun of him, and Looney was joking that he had it recorded. I don't think he really did.
Wait. Okay, now I'm remembering.
Now you are.
Aeon's like, you sound like a kid, like legit scared that you stole the
yeah, now it. That was wow.
Yeah, I'm really good at remembering obscure.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Fuck. I remember when all those late night riff calls would fucking be interesting. Every once in a while, Silverquill would come in, and I sure hope Dr. Wolf doesn't show up so he doesn't catch me telling all these dirty jokes. Back when Silverquill was kind of edgy, I was like, oh, those were the days. Every once in a while,
those were the days.
Yeah, fucking even. What was his goddamn name? I know Ryan used to make fun of him all the damn time. He's friends with Brawny. He had like the Ponymaker OC, the tie. Canned Cream. Canned Cream used to fucking hang out then.
Canned fucking cream.
Canned motherfucking cream. Ink Rose was around when we had to go up to her, or Riot Storm Analysis went up to her and said, hey, I want to pretend to be you and try and seduce Jesse Wood. And she gave it the okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And Sweetie Boom's like, you're not giving this sweet, precious child to that boy mincing pedophile. That didn't age well.
Ass spelunking nematode.
Last fucking nematode. Fucking godsend. Oh, fuck. So what's your first video back at a B-Fusion?
Who?
Oh, whoops. Horizon. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's late.
Yeah, who is...
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
I just called you a Pollock. I'm sorry, sir. I'll never insult your pure Puerto Rican genes ever again.
Bavarian phenotype.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Hey, guys. I'm gonna
Should
head
I be
out.
worried?
Yeah, you know what? On that
Alright,
note,
sure.
everybody, we're gonna hit stop recording.